Welcome back, everybody, to ProBots. We are here on ES Champ ProBots. Ender Sword is here with me. I am Andy Man, and thank you for tuning in to day 5 of ProBots. We have an exciting day of games today, Ender Sword. Do you know what today is?
December 1st.
It is. That is a correct answer. It's not the answer I'm looking for, though.
Okay, is today the consolation round final chance day?
That is also correct.
Okay.
But again, not the answer I'm looking for.
What are you looking for?
It's bot scrapping day, Ender Sword.
Oh, yes, that's true.
We're tossing 4 bots into the scrap pile. They will end their run here, and we've got 4 bots moving on to join our round of 8. We've already got 4 sitting and waiting for the round of 8, and we've got 4 more that will be decided tonight. But before we get all that rolling, thank you to our Crown Club for being here, and thank you everybody else for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've had an exciting season so far. Definitely go back and check out some of the games in that live category in YouTube, and check out all the fun stuff on YouTube. We're close to getting some subscriber goal where we get like more emotes or something. I don't know. So if you like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe.
Emotes are good.
Emotes are good. Everyone likes emotes. They're fun.
Yeah, makes it feel more like we're really on Twitch.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's eventually everything just becomes one. It's you know, the umbrella core syndrome or whatever. Everything just comes one. Anyway, we're gonna get some exciting games. Yeah, pull up the brackets. Let's take a look at tonight's games. And again, check out the Crown Club. We're gonna be doing an exciting episode tomorrow night. We're gonna be opening up our prediction brackets for the round of 8. You'll be able to come and make your fantasy bracket with us live, or you can do it on your own time. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But here, Ender Sword, are the games for tonight. Four of these bots are gonna get torn to shreds in our bot shredder tonight.
They are. They ain't gonna make it.
They ain't gonna make it.
Ain't gonna make it.
Who do you think is gonna make it?
Well, those are good questions. I think the first one is the one that I'm least sure on. But I don't know. I guess if we're doing predictions, I think Spud, Dominion Dog, Sharkbot, and Dovakin.
All right. Yeah, we'll be doing some official predictions again later, but that's a good.
That was my unofficial prediction.
It's a good unofficial one.
I may forget what I said 10 minutes from now.
Well, I guess for tonight they're not going to be official because on the challenge page, that's what I'm talking about. Check out our challenge bracket. You'll be able to tomorrow night enter your own predictions for the tournament and how it goes after we decide tonight who gets tossed in the shredder there. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our first matchup for tonight. It's going to be Spud, our 7th time ProBots contender here. Appearer, yes.
Appearer.
Appearer, is that a word?
I guess so. Yeah.
It makes a point.
It sounds like some sort of magician.
Yeah, the Appearer.
I'm the great Appearer.
I like that. Remember that. All right, Spud is going to be going up against Phantom Bot. Spud's got a nice win rate. He's definitely a contender. He's gone up against the likes of Micro Machine and Zoe and just some really, really tough bots. Catch Rock, and he can go toe to toe with them for sure. And then Phantom Bot is going to. I think Phantom Bot's going to have a good chance against Spud. I don't know. Spud's looking really strong, but Phantom Bot has come in really strong, and this is just his 2nd season in ProBots.
Only his 2nd time in, but looks impressive. His picture looks like a Phantom mask on a metal quilt.
Oh, it's the Phantom of the Opera, right?
It is the Phantom of the Opera. But why is it on this weird grid?
I don't know.
It's mysterious. It's mysterious, just like the Phantom. Yeah, is it like a silicone mask? Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. You would have to ask Phantom,
I suppose,
the author of
Phantoms are notoriously hard to get a hold of.
And don't forget, Undersword, we do have updates for both of these bots. We saw Spud's last week.
Yeah.
Spud had some adjustments against his Protoss versus Protoss and Zerg builds, and tonight, he'll be using that Zerg update, whatever it may be. He does some really good bio play. Spud's really strong with just really good Marine Marauder tank push. I think he does, right? He can throw some tanks in there.
Yeah,
really.
I think so.
Phantom Bot. I'm reading here. Phantom Bot is going to have more and better creep spread. Can you even imagine that? I'm trying to remember.
I think that would be good.
We've already seen some of the best creep spread I've ever seen in my life because these bots are just inhuman and they can spread creep so fast.
Yeah.
But we're apparently going to see even better creep spread here in just a second as we get our first best of 3 loaded up. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to day 5, our final group stage, or our final round of group stage games, whatever you want to call that. Yeah. And we'll be deciding our round of 8, the last 4 that get into the round of 8, right here, right now on ES Champ ProBots. Let's go ahead and dive into our first match, Spud versus Phantombot. Really distant.
I don't know how.
Spuds.
There's nothing outside this.
Spud.
I mean, unless
Phantom
it's picking it up
SCs.
from.
Hold on, I'm
Benbot.
You hear a lot of white noise. All right, we'll figure it out. We've got Spud, we've got Phantombot, and we've got Stargazers as our first map here on this best of 3. And yeah, I'm definitely echoing in yours. Just very slight. Maybe it's like through your headphones. Yeah.
It must be literally my headphone being up to the mic. But,
I mean, just push that microphone a little bit away. Just kind of
okay.
Scooch it back a little. There
Okay.
you go. Get comfy, everybody. Scooch it back. Just sit back, relax. We're gonna have a nice long game here. I think this is going to be a very macro-oriented game. I
reckon
think we're going to get up
be.
to at least 4 bases for Phantombot.
Yes,
is my prediction here.
I would think so. And this map,
If
of
not
course, named after Captain Picard's first ship, I think.
Oh yeah, the Stargazer.
Stargazer, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, no, or was that his? Or was
I
that
don't know.
Riker's?
I thought it was Picard's, but I'm not sure if he's the captain. Yeah.
Picard's. Okay, yeah, no, you're probably right. I should know. Anyway, no, this is a great map for Zerg, I think. This really favors, I think, our Zerg bot, just because he will be able to really creep, especially if the creep spread is better than we've ever seen. He's really just going to be able to take over the left side of the map, I think, pretty safely. It's hard for Spud to push down to that bottom left side. It's such a long distance.
Yeah.
To be able to push down there, so we'll see. We'll see how this shapes up. Both bots getting their naturals, so like I predicted, gonna shape up to be a little bit longer of a game than some of our games might be tonight. We've got some fun games at the end of the stream.
That is
there.
true. We may have some brief
Very
things,
quick
but yeah, this one I don't expect to be. We got the SCV scouting around, taking a peek at everything.
Yep.
And Reaper coming in, taking a shot or 2 at a lane.
Now let's see if this Reaper. We saw some amazing Reaper micro out of Micro Machine last week. That was insane stuff. But Spud also has some pretty phenomenal Reaper micro, and yeah, he's going to be able to dance around, gets a couple lanes, going to be able to hop up into the main and get a full look if he's careful. Oh, getting back into a corner a little bit. Going to be able to hop down. There's a lot of wiggle room here for a Reaper. This is
There is, yeah, because he can go into that entire back area. It's,
yeah,
there's a lot of different paths you can maneuver yourself in and out of.
Got a couple shots on a drone there, not bad.
Doing okay.
It might even get a worker. What happened? The Queens are not actually responding to this. They're staying up in the okay, here comes one now. Just waddling her way down, but the Reaper could have definitely targeted down a drone or 2 by this point, but did get a little bit distracted just dancing around still, and he gets caught. Too cocky.
Yep, so just some lane kills, but that is okay.
Yeah. I think what'd he get, like 4 kills? 5 kills?
Yeah, 3 or 4, I don't know.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
3, yeah.
3.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good stuff.
And some good scouting.
25 minerals up.
Nice.
Easy. And there's some more.
That adds up, bro.
Yeah.
That's half an SCV right there.
Yes, it is.
Now he's a whole SCV.
Now he's 2 up, really even. Something like that. Yeah, so bunker up front will be pretty good. So Phantombot looked to get cute with too many lings here or anything, then he would get shut down. But it looks like he's going into a Roach Warren right off the bat. These queens, though, wandering across. Is this going to be a queen walk Roach situation?
Ooh, that could be deadly. Nope, they're turning around. I guess just securing
what's he doing here?
But one is going.
There we go. Okay.
North.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly is going on because, yeah, the timing would have made some sense there. If they started to walk all at the same time, then they would arrive around the time that some roaches would make it there.
Uh-huh.
But so that's why I suspected that. But then the fourth base ends that. This guy's still persistent, though.
Oh yeah, this queen did not get the return memo.
No.
She is going to, she's gonna single-handedly take on this Terran defense. Oh boy,
This
is gonna be.
Okay. This would be all right
brutal.
if there were like, I don't know, an overlord out there and she was gonna put down a tumor on a forward, like creep poop.
See, this is actually brilliant play. We're all distracted, like, oh, what is this queen doing? Look how many bases Phantom Bot has going on. This is a fourth base coming up right now. Spud's gonna be like, what the heck, a queen? We're gonna need to bunker down and hold, and just have the biggest defense here. And yeah, a couple lings following it up.
All right, here we come with the drop. I think we saw this in previous weeks as well. Coming in.
It is. I'm assuming the overseer can see it there.
Yeah, should be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if this is effective. I think drops worked out really well for Spud in one game last week. Got like 11 drone kills.
Ooh, this is a great drop spot.
Yeah, it's a good location. With queens to defend, it's not that great, but they're kind of backing up. So they're
afraid.
They're just not defending it.
Yeah.
So this turns out to be really quite good, and we haven't.
He picks up.
Yeah, unfortunately, the leaving here, is actually partially the error. I don't.
Interesting. So it's like it feels like a timed scenario. Like, all right, go drop and do this, and then just get out. But that kind of smart because the queens maybe eventually would have gotten it surrounded to the point it did get a few too many pokes off where it died.
Yeah, keeps it alive.
Keeps it alive.
There,
like it.
But yeah, 13 drones, certainly nothing to shake a
That was
stick
nice.
at.
Yeah.
Really good pickup. But Phantom Bot had exploded in economy, was at 80 plus in the first place there. So it really just kind of serves to stabilize, given that we're at now what's going to be 5 bases to 2. But this may be for the reason for the retreat too, as well, is obviously this is now intended to be well, I would have thought a full out push. This is actually maybe a little late to be trying to take the third. But as long as it's behind a full push, then I think this is good. What I don't want to see is maybe, I can't tell yet if he's going to stop or if this is just to, yeah, okay.
I think he's beginning the push.
As long as this is still going, then I like this.
It's just that slow push forward as the third base comes up. So if Spud does get pushed back, at least he'll hopefully have a 3-base economy to kind of hold on. But this is working pretty well. This is a great choke point, a nice bridge for Spud to push across. And I'm assuming, so the creep is across that, but it doesn't really look like it's on the bridge.
There is, however, Zerg behind attacking the tanks there, and I'm seeing very pixelated versions.
So hold on, wait, does the creep effect apply on the bridge? Because the bridge doesn't technically have creep on it right now, right?
It should, whether it
but the creep has gone through it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Whether it graphically shows or not, it should still work.
Interesting. So is that a graphic oversight then?
Maybe.
Oh, the lings! Oh, the lings again are too afraid to engage. Maybe it's just numbers. There's too many Marines for them to want to engage safely. And because of that, they're just going to dance in Marine fire and die. And Spud is going to push through into the natural. And what was looking really good for Phantom Bot. A really nice economy. Again, a lot of creep spread taking over pretty much exactly half the map at 8 minutes in the game is amazing. And Spud just managed to get in here and create such a position that I don't think he's going to lose.
Yeah, just a good timing to get this off. And I do kind of wonder, I didn't really note it at the time, we don't see whether killing that many drones caused, like, say, 13 more drones to be made, which would have otherwise been units.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that could have been.
Yeah, because usually when you do that, you don't immediately fall. Like, if you're going to do, like, an all-in push, then kind of killing a few workers right before the push isn't as, as common, because you'd rather just keep the stuff. In this case, he got the stuff back anyway. But yeah, if it forced out more drones instead of units, then
I got to replace the drones, and then all of a sudden there's not enough Zerglings for them to want to engage. And, wow, that's a good thought. Yeah, that could very well be a huge effect here. Wow, Spud has just decimated the natural. Now the third is gone. There is a small squad here defending the fourth. And these tanks are really exposed. So maybe a couple of... Oh, the Zerglings keep dancing back and running away into the tank fire. It's so unfortunate. That tank is so close to dead. The Raven, a nice touch, too. Really able to help clean up the creeps.
Yeah, definitely you want to be taking that out.
Yeah, with that detection, so... Nicely done. Spud has every tool in his arsenal he needs. He's got the detection with the Ravens. He's got medevacs to heal his stimmed Marines. And he's going to take down the 4th base and take down Phantombot in game number 1 here.
Yep.
So a nice attack. Phantombot is on his last life, Endersword.
Indeed he is. And yeah, I think you're right. He was right about to kind of turn the corner into a huge economy and probably
Just a
spike
big
in
swell of units, yeah.
Yeah, and didn't quite get there, so this timing worked out quite well.
Great timing.
And Spud did continue to expand behind it, so it wasn't really an all-in or anything, but it was just a strong timing. So even if he didn't outright win, it would have been pretty hard to see that he didn't take out a base or two before getting repelled, but ends up carrying it all the way.
Carried it all the way home.
Pretty good.
Took the win. All right, well, we're going to get game 2 loaded up here. Again, if you've just tuned in and joined us, we're on day 5 here. This is our first best of 3 of the night, so you tuned in at a good time. And we're going to see here if Spud can make it into the round of 8, or maybe Phantombot can turn things around and avoid the scrap pile for one more game. We'll see. Big shout out to our Crown Club, as always. Make sure you check it out because you get all sorts of cool extra content, like our post-bot show tomorrow night. We're going to have author of Negative Zero, Mind Me, joining us. So please come and hang out. We're going to open up our prediction brackets, our fantasy brackets, for the round of 8 as well. So we'd love to have you come join us live, same time that we start here tonight, but tomorrow night in the Discord. And come make your fantasy brackets with us. It'll be a lot of fun. And I think we're ready, Endersword. Let's see if Spud can seal the deal or Phantombot will bring us to a game 3. Let's go. Spuds.
Spud.
Phantom SCs.
Phantombot.
And do let us know. We've got the poll up in the YouTube chat. Who you want to win? Spud heavily favored here. But Spud has been a crowd favorite for a long time, so yeah, I'm not surprised as yet. Phantombot, hey, making some, definitely made a fan out of me. I am excited to see Phantombot here, and Phantombot in future seasons, I have no doubt. Again, this is Phantombot's 2nd season, and already a really strong showing against a few top bots in the last season, and then here. Who else did he go up against here? It was Negative Zero. Took a game off a Negative Zero, man. Like, yeah. That's not easy. See, that was I don't care how you do it. That's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of, took advantage of an early push in order to do that. And we'll see if he tries to make an adjustment like that this time. Like, part of the reason I thought in that last game he may have been doing a queen walk into Roach all in was because of that sort of thing. So see if he does make an adjustment to go for...
I think that could have worked if that actually had... put on some pressure and maybe slowed Spud down a little bit, because I don't think one attack from Phantombot happened. Spud dropped, killed some workers, and then pushed in one, essentially, while Phantombot just kind of macroed. It just really felt very macro, too macro focused a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, a bit. And it's hard to strike that balance if you want to get your economy up and running, but he basically sprinted to like 80 drones.
Yeah.
Before really building... much else.
It's a strategy. It's a way to do it.
Yeah, indeed. So you take
that map is a little weird too. I don't know if the bots have figured out that map fully, or if the authors have been updated on it.
Neither of them took that back base. I think we saw last week a couple people using it properly.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
mining
you're right.
it out. But nobody did today. Well, nobody, neither of them. Yeah. But yeah, we saw some people clearly incorporated it and specifically mined out the minerals and took that base. So at least these guys weren't actively confused by it, because we saw that in week 1. Somebody had floated a command center and sat it over it because it didn't understand there were minerals underneath it, I guess. So
well, and that's again just with the new maps. And we were just talking a little bit too, I guess we should in case anybody's not aware, address this, that we're on an older version but with customly updated maps, right?
Yeah.
Like these are custom made maps to basically make it so we're on the new patch, quote unquote.
Yes.
All the gameplay and everything, stats and everything, all is going to be new patch and all that. But as far as the client version, it's actually an older version, which can give the author some trouble, gives us some trouble when trying to watch live games, that kind of thing. But I don't know, I just thought that was interesting to note. I didn't know that until today.
Is indeed.
Interesting to note. Ooh, Reaper gets 4 kills, might even get a couple more here. Speedlings are going to be able to poke and chase it down. Potentially, no. It's going to be close.
Hard to catch off.
Oh, he's going to get it.
Is he
He's
going to
get
get there?
Oh, yeah, he didn't shoot enough. He didn't pop the
No
Zerglings enough there.
grenades.
No grenades, yeah, nothing, just took a few too many hits. Sorry, the Zerglings are going to die here, too. Yeah.
Indeed they shall.
Alright, so we've got 3 base Phantom Bot against 2 base Spud at the moment, and Spud has a Starport, finishing up with some bio upgrades coming down. So we're going to see Medivacs, we're going to see that bio play once again, which Spud is very good at. We don't see a lot of bots do drop bio play, with the Medivacs dropping like we saw last game behind the mineral line, proved to be super effective. And it's definitely something that a bot in a bot's hands can be really effective, because when we see 3, 4 drops, especially later game, if you can drop every single base at the same time, it's even for a bot, it's hard to manage that and react to that appropriately when you get attacked in 4 different locations at once, even 3 locations at once. Is, I imagine, difficult. I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be hard anyway.
You would think so. You would think so.
so.
This time, Phantom Bot is taking the back base. Like, this is another weird that we get these 2 maps in a row, but where there's kind of like a back base behind.
Yeah. Well, it really does allow for a nice long macro game, so I like it.
Yeah. So it may make it harder to get in. Like, I often talk about how bots have a tendency to go right for the natural. And since there's now a more protected third behind it, it may be harder to get at. If Spud goes for a similar sort of push, but there may still be.
I think there's a really, if he sticks to that right-hand side of the map, there's a really nice avenue to do a drop down there.
Yeah, true. That is a good spot.
Nice and
we'll
if there's no overlords or anything to see it, then it can definitely get away with it. But it looks like he's going to go down to the bottom left and take the bottom path, which also might be pretty effective here.
And this I assume he's set to try and hit the main. For each one, and I think that's what we're going to get again. And no queen here at all at the moment. Nope. So getting into a good
nice
spot.
Burrow.
The burrow making a difference, but
huge difference. The drones burrow and save themselves for now. And load now. Wow, no damage done. Pretty much. I don't think he killed 1 drone.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Maybe 1, or no, that was a scouting drone that died, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, Phantom Bot this time. Dealt with that perfectly. Now I'm so curious why did. Yeah, until we just need to see that big overwhelming force that Phantom Bot's not afraid to engage with. And actually, these units are doing a little bit of kiting, but there's nothing. Phantom Bot has no army grouped together. Yeah. Needs to get a big group of units out. The production tab has been so full of upgrades and everything else. We need to see it full of units now. Hydras, roaches, anything that Phantom Bot can get, because this push is on creep and it's coming. It's not stopping. Spud is ready to push to victory, I'm sure. And I think he might. I think he's gonna. Phantom Bot's up in supply, but if Spud stays Spud's splitting apart. If Spud stays together like he did last game and just makes a really decisive attack here and gets into a good position where Phantom Bot can't quite engage, then I think Spud could maybe make this happen. But Phantom Bot again has more supply. He's slowly getting out the units that he needs. These Marines are very damaged, but the base will go down. Oh, this is so close, Undersword. Phantom Bot just needs to get some kind of
it's hard
something together. I don't know.
Yeah, once they're on your territory, the Zerg often has a hard time really grouping up appropriately.
The Zerglings again being useless.
Get a defense,
Oh,
And that's
man.
that's been one of Phantom Lord's biggest problems, is these fearful lings, which are supposed to be tanking for the rest of your army. And
or doing
they
any,
won't.
just running in
Doing
and
anything,
and
yeah.
doing damage and tanking, but they just dance around in tank and marine fire, and that will be Phantom Bot's undoing. I think Spud has made it in. Spud, even with the burrow, Phantom Bot will not survive this. Spud has made it into the natural and will continue slaughtering Zerg here. And I think we've got our next round of 8 participant.
It does look like it. It does look like it.
It will be Spud moving on. Spud going down to -0 last week, but coming back here to get a nice secured spot in the round of 8. And I'll have to take a look at that. I actually don't know who everybody goes up against. I forget how it shuffles.
Yeah, I forget how we have it aligned as well. The tanks here are like they just go completely untouched. Like nothing.
Oh yeah,
is
there's
coming to the
nothing
back
that will.
line
Even
at all.
even the Zerglings that
Yeah.
do get on them end
Yeah.
up like pulling away. I think like they'll do a hit and then pull away.
Yeah.
They're just far too fearful. Zerglings need to be reckless and just attack and just go. Especially on creep. If it's on
Yeah, they
creep,
definitely
just
do.
attack.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
go.
Just
Yeah.
go.
I could see you wanting to pull back more defensively and being a lot safer if
Yeah.
you're off creep and trying to do a coordinated attack. But if you're on creep, you just need to be attacking.
Yeah, especially in your own area, it is, and we've seen this with like a number of different bots where there's times where they just get stuck in perpetual retreat mode and need to maybe have something that says like, hey, you're at your natural. If you retreat from this, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
you're dead anyway.
like
yeah.
to say like it's 11 minutes into the game, you can't just retreat to your main. It's too late. So like there needs to be almost like a last stand logic that says like, I know you're gonna lose, but you might as well do this. Like you're not gonna get a better chance. So
Well, I will say some absolutely phenomenal creep spread out of Phantom Bot. Definitely lived up to his update claim there.
yeah,
Creep everywhere. Even though he's getting absolutely decimated, there's still creep spreading under sword. That creep is not going to stop. Well, it will eventually. But great series. Good job, Spud. And a great showing, Phantom Bot. Again, Phantom Bot's second season. I have no doubt that we'll see Phantom Bot in another season very soon here. Again, the Zergs are looking really strong. We actually had a phenomenal spread. We had 4 Protoss, 6 Terrans, and 4 Zergs, and then the 1 random bot. Wait, is that right? Wait, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think so. Yeah.
Wait, no, that's only 15 bots. Who am I
15
missing?
bots.
Oh, 5. I'm sorry, 5 Protoss. I had my list was scrolled down. But no, nice spread of unit, a nice spread of races this time around, and a great series there to start things off here on day 5. But we're gonna turn on our scrapping machine and toss Phantom Bot in here.
Yeah.
Very soon as we start our next series up.
Yeah, I think Phantom
Good show.
Bot
Good show.
can jump forward a lot with just a few little tweaks. Like so, the obvious one there is the Ling hesitancy.
Yeah.
I think that that's been a couple series that we've pointed out that's the main problem, is that they've got an army behind them ready to fight, but you're the front line and they're not acting like the frontliners. They're acting like well, whatever. Lings, scared lings. I don't know. Something. But yeah, so I think that's a relatively easy thing to focus on for the author to fix and see, because the creep's a lot better. The builds I think are coherent. Obviously the macro quite strong.
Macro's great.
Early on, and I think because of that sort of thing, just the hesitancy of units, I don't think there's a complete totally undefended aspect. It's just how they're defending is that they're falling back too much, and I think there has to be more of a grouped up active defense in order to
the best
to do
defense is a good offense, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, basically.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But no, great series, yeah. And again, with newer bots, that's just something that works itself out over time, and will definitely, again, that's why I think Connie Nana, or I'm sorry, not Connie. We're gonna see Connie Nana next. That's why Phantom Bot is going to, I have no doubt, be in future seasons here. But let's go ahead and talk about our next series. We've got another Zerg coming up, another Zerg versus Terran here. Connie Nana by Hatosh and written in Rust, one of our only Rust bots.
Is indeed.
Is it our only Rust bot?
No,
there's
why
no,
do I feel like there's one other? Yeah.
-0. We always forget -0s, right?
Is it -0? Maybe.
-0? I think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, Connie Nana is looking very strong as well. Again, one of the newer Zerg bots, but with a great showing so far. Has given us some really exciting games and has gone up against really
crash?
big names.
Was that crash percentage correct?
Was it? What did it say?
It said he crashed 42% of the time.
Oof! I hope not. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. I thought it was like 2% of the time or something.
I don't know if that's correct or not. If it is, if it
might have a short game here. If so, yeah.
Well, if it wins, if it wins 41% and crashes 42%, then technically it only loses 17% of the time.
That's a great lose percentage.
Yeah, unless it just like rage crashes.
Yeah,
like it knows it's losing, and it's like 1-0, 1-0, 1-2. Yeah,
it could be something like that. Actually, that could be not too far off. But no, Connie Nana took out Sharpened Edge 2-0 a couple weeks ago, and even took a game off of Micro Machine. So Connie Nana, I think, has a really good chance up against Dominion Dog. I think it's going to be a pretty close match. I think this one is going to be even closer than last week. We saw, again, Connie Nana versus Micro Machine, and that was very, very incredibly close for a long period of the game. At least 10 to 15 minutes into the game. It was very close and very even. So, I don't know. Dominion Dog might be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll see if these updates come into play. We have, again, received updates from, I believe, all the bots. And I believe there is a new build, a little attack out of Dominion Dog that we might see in action here, specifically to deal with Connie Nana. So we'll see what happens here. You let us know in the poll who you want to win.
Indeed.
Like who do you want to win, Endersword? You can play favorites.
I probably can. I think I don't know. I like them both. I guess for the newness, I want Connie Nana to win, but I feel like maybe Dominion Dog will win.
I want Dominion Dog to go through and wreck all the Zergs. I want Dominion Dog to take down Connie Nana and Eris and just any Zerg that remains. I think Dominion Dog can do it. I believe in you, Dominion Dog. All right, we're going to go ahead. But no, yeah, you're right. Both bots are very fun and exciting to watch. I do love Connie Nana's play as well. Well, let's go ahead and dive into that. Let's see how these two will play. Connie Nana versus Dominion Dog here in our second best of 3 of the night on ES Champ ProBots. Let's go. Oh, yeah, Atoshes.
Connie Nana.
Fidolinas. Dominion Dog. Okay, Mind Me did some checking for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
The real crash rate is 0%. Okay, I like that better. We'll go with that. Another fun thing to point out, I just realized, we're going to see 3 of our 4 Zergs tonight. So all the Zerg except for Eris, who is already in the round of 8, we will see tonight. And we've already had one of them eliminated. We might just have a culling of the Zerg here tonight, Endersword.
We might indeed.
Ooh, we'll see if Dominion Dog can take out Connie Nana or if Connie Nana
their essence.
Oh, yeah. No, that's Zerg do that, right? Isn't that a Zerg thing?
That. Yeah, but they do it to... Well, they do it to any living thing. I think but they do harvest other Zerg.
Mm-hmm.
Zerg
like living thing. Anything biological, right?
Yeah.
They need new DNA, new DNA strands, whatever, new essence.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I want to see like a new shampoo commercial by Abathur. New essence body wash. Oh my god, I don't do a very good Abathur. Quick opening, some macro-oriented play, second base for both our bots here, so... No cheese tonight. We had a lot of cheesy games last night.
Yeah.
Last week. But tonight, very standard. Very just standard play. We're going to get up into a nice little bio push, I would imagine, here out of Dominion Dog. Dominion Dog, another one of those Terran bots that is very capable with bio and medevacs and making things happen with that. I don't think we see drops as much out of Dominion Dog, though.
No, I think we've talked about that maybe, and they were looking into more of it, but yeah, not. I don't think we have.
The big update we're going to see out of Dominion Dog this week is detection, which, well, potentially, if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah,
we'll see. But Connie and Anna goes roaches, so that burrowed roaches specifically. So that is going to be extremely helpful potentially.
Yeah, those are still, there's certain things that kind of have outsized power in the bot world, and burrowed roaches are definitely one of those things.
Can be one of those things.
Yeah.
I'd say it's right up there with Tempest almost. Like it's been used a bit, but it's never... not, and it's not figured out even fully.
Yeah.
Because you could really do some sneaky stuff with burrowed movement roaches.
Yeah.
The tricky thing is though, once that detection comes out, it is harder to make things happen with it. So
it definitely is, like, obviously having detection negates a lot of it. However, just the way that a lot of the bots think, move, and act is such that if you're fighting army to army and you burrow some roaches, the enemy is more likely to then ignore them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they can burrow, retreat, heal up,
so
unburrow, and it also allows the other roaches to get. So say you've got 80 roaches. You want the ones that are bunched up behind to be able to get fresh ones to get to the front.
Yeah, because what we had seen, the other day, where there was someone that had burrow with the movement, and they were burrowing attacking, and then individually burrowing and retreating immediately.
Yeah.
And then once they healed up, they were basically using it like a blink, right?
Okay.
So to individually burrow back specific roaches and then regroup with the army, and like they would just pop up once they were green again.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot more to be exploited with that sort of thing.
Oh, definitely.
And the same with like the burrow into bases we hadn't seen much of until this season. But like individual roaches splitting up to go into different places and harass is such a huge untapped potential. That because one thing that I find with like all the bots is they're good at, like, eventually if somebody gets detection and it's just kind of with their army, then it's fine. But they're really bad at, like, if you split the things that need to be detected, it can't. I've never seen someone
doesn't chase down individual groups
or
with
like
its own individual groups. Yeah.
Exactly, like spread ravens so that there's 4 of
just
them
kind
spread
of
out to
moves
cover.
its whole army. And
it doesn't do that well at all.
Yeah.
So and I think there's a lot of potential there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we don't see a lot of bots able to do that multitasking, especially in a defensive nature. Yeah, to be able to say you're getting attacked in 3 bases. Oh, I need to split the appropriate amount of units into each area, but we just see a lot of move big armies to clean up this. Oh, and then they're still attacking there and just kind of sweep through.
Yeah, and it's why a lot of like one of the first things that people figured out was that like cloaked banshees work really well, and part of the reason they do work really well is because they're just chaotically everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's very hard for the armies to deal with that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, things are shaping up here, and we're gonna have some armies very soon. We're getting up to that 100 supply mark out of both bots, and army supply dead even. Workers just slightly in Connie and Anna's favor with a 4th base now on the way for our Zerg. So things are shaping up to be a much longer game. Again, this is one of those bases where it's pretty easy to get at least 2 and then usually 3 bases. I think Dominion Dog should be able to pretty safely get a 3rd base here. Just with these 2 ramps, it's a really nice defensive. You can get a really nice defensive posture here if you set up correctly. But we're actually going to see just a strong 2-base Marauder Hellbat push with Ravens a Raven for detection. So the creep going to get cleaned up. The burrow, we'll see if the burrow gets negated or if it can come into play here. The Zerglings are being aggressive, but they are going to get roasted.
Yeah, very strong kind of ground army here. Queens will come up and try and be like. There's a lot of
the
queens.
Marauders are for to deal with the
there's
queens.
A lot of queens here, but the damage is being spread out, but they are starting to drop these.
The queens don't have a lot of energy for transfuse to heal, so I think the Marauders actually are going to be able to push through. They're just too tanky. Queens just tickle Marauders.
Yeah.
And with the Hellbat streaming in, no amount of Zerglings at this moment is going to be able to save him. Well, I mean, if he had 100, but no amount he's going to be able to produce will be able to save him. And Dominion Dog is pushing through. Oh, there's no healing. That could be an issue, but we'll see. This is going to do a lot of damage before it gets cleaned up, though.
Yeah, the roaches here from the back could be pretty helpful, but yeah, I mean, marauders are obviously quite good against them too. It'll be a matter
the base.
of coming back down to try and deal with the army. See how well this holds up. It's going to be a little bit of a game of attrition. Can he thin this out enough that he can stop it at the natural? Nice turret there on the side, helped by distracting a lot of fire.
Yeah, it takes a lot of tanking. Yeah, it takes a lot of damage, which is good because it's timed, so it will die anyway. Might as well absorb some damage. No, so we'll get cleaned up. So this will get cleaned up, and actually, the biggest damage done was in just army supply. So economically, Connie Nana actually has barely been touched.
Yeah, they're still about even in workers, but yeah, like you said, the army supply is
it's
not,
just been
not
such a good trade. Oh,
but
here comes wave 2.
The reinforcements is going to be the big thing.
I didn't even see this coming across.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now he's fighting up a ramp. This is a lot better. For a while they were stuck fighting on the bottom of it. So can he get a good concave here to get something going? And I think there might be too much, and he's just going to break through.
Dominion Dog is a Zerg killer, my friend. And yeah, Burrow, nice burrowed out of the roaches or out of the drones as well. We see Burrow out of all our Zergs these days, which is great. Again, really good tool to utilize. Not this time though. With the Raven, it's not going to save the drones, and they're going to start falling. Queens and roaches in disarray, and yeah, I think Dominion Dog has done it. Way too much army supply. Bases are going to start falling here, and all right, yeah, we might have a Terran moving on. This is perfectly suited to deal with burrowed roaches. A really healthy marauder count. That Raven is doing a good job at staying away from the queens. So yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Again, nice burrowed roach play still out of Connie Nana. We don't see that out of any other bots really. We see burrow, but we don't really see burrow roaches.
Yeah, burrowed roach with the movement, cool. And you could see a little bit of it. We never get into full swing on it, but a bit of the burrowing and pulling back the injured one. But it was lost by that.
Well, Dominion Dog just hit it a perfect time before that could really. So on God, look at all these marauders.
Yeah, just a really good army. It's one of those things. It's an exploitable army. Obviously, if you went air or something, there's nothing to deal with that. But but yeah, it hits at a good time when that's actually unlikely to be the case. Three Mutalisks
would have saved the day there. Yeah, definitely a Muta counter would have been nice. But we're gonna see what happens here as we get game 2 loaded up. And I'm thinking Dominion Dog is gonna be able to push on unless Connie Nana switches it up. But I am pretty sure Connie Nana mostly sticks to roaches.
Yeah.
Eventually into Hydras. We see Roach Hydra play, right?
Roach Hydra, yeah. Had he got to Hydra, then like that's kind of what you want, is you need the roaches to tank for things like the Hellbats in front, but then even Ravager there would be okay because you can prevent it from like just throw biles in and prevent them from having a good solid front and try and take shots. But that's a tough one to deal with just Roach and Ling. Obviously, Ling just get roasted.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that was beautiful to watch. Hellbats, such a good... Yeah, well, that's just such a ground-focused army, that the only counter really is air or something like that, because it's just so strong. Anything on the ground is going to have such a hard time dealing with the super healthy, high hit point marauders, the Hellbats, which is roast all the light units, the Zerglings in this case. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Game 2, Connie Nana, Dominion Dog. Let's go.
Once you start it, you wind up, he has to complete.
Patoshes.
Connie Nana.
Bedolinas. Dominion Dog. Well, see, now I want to see a remake of the cutscenes with Manx, but with its Dominion Dog instead. With the pipe and the hat.
Dog,
just the dog, and it goes woof.
Again, it would change the entire I don't know. People wouldn't dislike him. That's who they'd want to
I
win.
don't know. Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Even evil dogs are still better
Yeah.
than humans.
So
So
cool.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see what happens here on Stargazers again. One of our newer maps, one of the new maps in the pool, and not one that the bots have fully figured out necessarily. So we'll see how it affects these two. Again, those top bases are blocked by minerals, which you don't see on any other maps these currently. So makes it a little bit trickier to deal with unless you have something specifically programmed in to go mine those out and clear up the base. And even the ones on the ramp, those can cause some issues as well if the bot isn't aware of what to do about it, because they could just see, oh, it's a ramp. I'm not used to minerals being there. Minerals are behind bases.
True.
So I don't know. I like it. I wish there were more random mineral locations just ran throughout the map as like blockers, and everything's so symmetrical. Yeah, it's all pretty and everything, but I want some chaos Ender Sword.
It is. Or at least like something that doesn't really exist in the game and never did, like it's in the campaign, is like the idea of in certain places there's just floating minerals and gas that
that you can pick up.
Yeah, and I could see like why you'd have to be like strategic about it to not just have that be like at the moment.
Well, the strategy is you have to go spend time and APM to go pick it up. And what was the old map? Fruitland or something. Remember in 2013 where you had to go kill a lemon?
Yeah.
And then you could pick up the lemon and you got like 500 minerals for it. But yeah, you had to work for it. You had to go do a thing.
Yeah, there'd have to be something like that. And there is in like equivalent games, like obviously in Warcraft 3 and stuff, you kill creeps to kill things and whatever. Like where they're like XP is the thing, but still you could make it resources or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'd be ways to implement it, but yeah, it couldn't just be go get it. It has to be devote some sort of resource to the collection of it.
Well, and why not a base that isn't... All these bases are so perfect. Look at that. A little arc of minerals, 2 gas always in the same spot. Why not do like a 360 surround of minerals?
True.
Kind of spread them out. And then the gas is like one's far away and one's close. So I don't know. You could do some fun things.
Yeah, there were a couple before that were like a bit different. There were some where the minerals were like in a straight line, and so you could but it was like in the middle of the map, so you could mine it from either side adequately. So like it wasn't like one player's base versus another. It was like a contested one. And there were definitely bases with like fewer patches. Like there were a lot of the there were like 4 mineral patch bases in the middle of nowhere, and you don't really see that as much anymore.
I like this idea. Or if every StarCraft unit got experience, so they level up like every 10 experience, they get like 1 more damage or something, so they're like hero units by the end of the game if they survive long enough.
Immortals would be gods.
Yeah. Well, and you just do it very slowly. So even the Marauder who has 100 kills only does like 5 more damage or something. It's not like crazy amounts, but you get 10 of those, it's like, ooh, baby, they're gonna pack a punch. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's ways to do. I mean, obviously, again, in other games, they have done that sort of like veteran type system and whatever.
Well, you can do it. There's some custom StarCraft games that do it.
Yeah,
too.
they do. Yeah.
But you could absolutely do it in StarCraft. It's totally doable.
Yeah, I think they decided they didn't want to.
Yeah, no, it's obviously changed the game completely. I know.
There's always stuff that like you want to raise the skill. That would so raise the skill cap, but it would actually be so.
Well, it would encourage a lot more micro because you want to keep units alive specifically.
Well, it would encourage a lot more micro, but that in and of itself would be somewhat the problem. Is the reason they don't want it? I think is that because it makes it very inaccessible to lower level people.
To scrubs.
Yeah.
The noobs like me.
It's another. It's an almost overpower. It was something that like it's a game theory sort of thing, but something that people don't tend to avoid in a lot of games is the idea that if somebody's already better, don't give them additional mechanics that amplify their betterness.
Yeah, exactly.
And
because you want it to stay as even as possible for as long as possible, so you have as close of a game.
It also, and it's an anti-comeback mechanic because if my army's already won and yours has died, my army is veterans and yours are not. So it's an anti-comeback mechanic.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Well, we don't know. It's all about mechanics here. None of that stuff. And here comes this big push. It's about to make its way across a lot of Hellbats and Marauders. This almost feels like a bigger ball of Terran the last time. I don't know. Yeah, it's about the same size. Either way, it's gonna hurt if Connie Nana is not ready. But Connie Nana has
he sees it right
a
at the
decent
gate.
army.
Yeah, sees it right at the gate. We'll see if he's in a good position to stop it.
Get more stuff. Get more roaches. We need a lot more roaches, I'd say. Well, even that, I don't know. Yeah, you really just need a Spire to deal with this. I don't think there's...
Yeah.
Unless you have twice the amount that Connie Nana has now, I don't think you can engage or deal with this.
Yeah.
The Hellbats are just going to kill every single Zergling.
This time, this is a little better first engage. I felt last time the Lings went in before the Queens were even there to fight. So he took out kind of the front line.
Oh, there's a lot more Queens this time, too, it feels like. At least 3 or 4 more, maybe. They're almost out of heals, though.
Yeah, it's going better, but it's...
I don't think it's good enough.
It's still not enough, but it is going a lot better, for sure.
It is a lot better, you're right. This is lasting a lot longer. The Queen's really holding the line here. Oh, wow, nice last-second transfuse there on the one on the left.
With the roaches coming in from the side here, too, going after the Hellbats, this is way better than the first game.
No way. Is Connie Nana going to push it back? Connie Nana's up in army supply right now. I thought the Marauders would just start to slaughter the roaches as they come out, but there's actually enough that they can push through. Wow. Ender Sword. Connie Nana's going to bring this back.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm speechless. And good upgrades. Connie Nana still has a phenomenal economy behind this. 4 bases. Creep spread's looking quite healthy. And Dominion Dog is actually going to be on the back foot, but will continue to push forward and kill creep with this little squad here. And the Raven. Couple Ravens out, actually.
Yeah, there's still, a pretty sizable second wave coming here. So there's still a threat. But, and they're going to be 3 base to 4. So there's going to be a follow-up here. But we'll see. It'll come down. He's kind of got to crush this reinforcing wave.
There's not a lot here for Dominion Dog. Maybe he wants to pull back. Actually, a lot coming in from the north.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it's enough to be able to barrel through here. Not the best, actually, engagement because the roaches are able to get a nice concave still.
Yeah, and they're doing, you can see there, the burrowed pullback.
Yeah, there it is.
And this is a good example because there's Ravens here detecting it. But you can see they kind of, once the roach is off the front line, they kind of don't care. So they let it live.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're not going to be chased through 10 more roaches to go after it. Yeah, easy. That'd be suicide.
Yeah. So
another little squad here coming through. They're going to get a little bit of damage done, but there's a lot of roaches. I think it's too many roaches. Double the army supply for Connie Nana.
Exactly. It's none of them have been dying. Is the big thing.
Yeah.
And if he switches into corruptors, takes out the air detection.
Oh, this squad is surrounded. There's no way out. Well, there is one way. They could run to the bottom right there a little bit. One Marauder does not make it. I think this is it. Connie Nana's going to push through with just superior roach numbers and bring us to an ace match. Good job, Connie Nana. Exciting stuff. That's awesome to see. I'm glad to eat my own words here. I thought Aspire was going to really be the only way to defeat such a strong Hellbat Marauder ground-based army. Just so strong.
Yeah, I think it's obviously maybe a cleaner way to do it, but it comes down to the initial engagement. The syncing up of the Lings and Queens this time made a big difference in just the way that he engaged. Also, there was never a ramp at play, whereas in the first game we saw that Connie Nana was fighting at the bottom of a ramp for a lot of the roach engagements, so that really hurt.
Yeah, that burrowed heal is so strong to be able to pull back and not lose your roach. Then you just have an overwhelming roach force. Unless there's tanks, everything's set up to deal with it, and then it's just going to barrel through, like we saw here. And nicely done. Connie Nana ties things up, and again, just look at that production tab. Connie Nana does not stop. Plays for the late game. I saw Corruptors on the chat at one point. Definitely later gameplay coming through. Might actually need a couple to kill this base here.
Need to redo the old BM float. But
Dominion Dogs trying to get a draw, but not going to happen. Corruptors are out. All right, Ender Sword. We're going to game 3. This is now
Yeah.
anybody's game. We have seen the super strong push out of Dominion Dog work, and we have also seen the super strong push fail with all those Marauders. So, what is going on the bottom of the map there? Is that all creep? Oh my God! Look at that. What is he spelling words? Wait, what's happening? Does that say something? It's too blurry. No, I think
I'm
it's
not
just.
sure.
A
I think
string
it's
of-
just the density. Yeah.
I'm seeing things.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of. I've never seen so many creep tumors
Yeah.
in a game like that. Yeah, indeed. Great creep spread there, and we're going to see what happens in game 3 as we get it loaded up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, if you've just tuned in, we're doing eliminations tonight. This is day 5, and one of these 2 bots after this game will get tossed into the scrap pile.
Mhm.
And it could be either bot at this point. They've both shown that they can go the distance, and they're very evenly matched, I'd say.
Yes.
This is a really close matchup between these two. So it's Braille. Oh, there you go. Could be Braille. Could have said something to Braille. I don't know. I don't speak Braille. Or read Braille? I don't read Braille.
Braille. Yeah. I don't think anyone speaks Braille.
Well, you can. Well,
You could just say the things.
what you read. Yeah, you just say.
Yeah.
Well, it's like saying you speak words, or wait, like
It's
I
to
don't
be,
know. We're
yeah,
gonna
it'd be
go
like saying I speak
text.
text. Yeah.
Yeah, I speak text.
I speak text.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna get this game loaded up. Thank you all for being here, and check out our Crown Club. We're gonna have a fun episode of PostBots tomorrow night, so make sure you come and do our prediction brackets. We're gonna be again opening up our fantasy brackets that you can come fill out with us, and that will be for our round of 8, which starts next week. So join our forum, bookmark everything. Oh, are we ready? I think we're ready. Game 3. Let's see who moves on into the round of 8 and who gets tossed into the scrap pile. Let's go. Patoshes.
Connie Nana.
Fidolinas. Dominion Dog. Okay, Moon Dance is our map. And I think this is going to work better for Dominion Dog. I think this is a shorter push distance, right? Well,
Yeah, it's. I know all the maps look really, really different this season, but I can
Yeah.
tell you between the longest distance and the shortest is only 4 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's deceptive.
That's good to know. Yeah, no,
yeah.
that doesn't really make a difference at all then what map you're on for push
Yeah.
distance. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Instead of
more.
we've got too many maps that are the same. That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah,
need
I think it's more
diversity.
about the ramps that
Yeah.
make a difference. And like the big
Positions
thing
and-
in the last one was that he was kind of going through the bridge and there's no ramp.
Yeah.
That I think helps.
Okay. Well, do you think this map favors the heavy ground-based terrain? Are there enough choke points? Enough?
I
I
think
don't know. Good
it's.
places.
I don't know. I think it's going to leave Dominion Dog fighting up a ramp to get to the third base of Kaninana, and whether that helps. But I think the real key is going to be the initial hit sinking of Lings and Queens. So I think if the Queens are right there, starting to do damage as the Lings hit and get fried, so that the Lings are tanking for them, then you get the front line of Hellbats go down.
Well, didn't he have more queens in game 2 as well? It really
seemed-
felt like there were more.
He seemed to have more. Whether he actually had more, or they were just closer, so they grouped up more. I
Oh,
don't
maybe
know.
they just grouped up sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It felt like
there
he
was
had
just
more.
more heals. If so, even if you
Yeah.
have 2 or 3 more queens, that's
Yeah.
a few more heals each. That can turn the tide of battle. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
it did feel like it.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's and this is often the case. Is you can kind of predict how certain things are going to go, but so many battles, particularly with the bots, are decided in the first like 2 seconds of the fight based on how the armies were positioned. And what will often happen, and we see it a lot, is somebody has enough to defend, but like something wasn't sieged, or the wrong thing was in front, or it came from the left and the Lings ran ahead first.
Yeah.
and then they died before the second part got there. Whereas if they just moved together, it would be fine. There's a lot of like really, really detailed things in like the first second of engagement that make a big difference.
Zergling got in and left a huge blood splatter.
Yeah.
Now some poor SCV is gonna have to clean that up. What a mess. Yeah, no full wall. That's a little bit risky, especially since there's no wall at all outside of the natural.
Yeah.
Maybe one will be coming up shortly. Yeah, just a little risky. Maybe we'll see another supply depot to seal it off.
Yeah, and we're making the assumption too. Of course, it's shaping up this way, but making the assumption he's going to do a similar thing. But of course, Dominion Dog just registered a loss, so maybe we'll change it.
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of Marauders coming
We're
out.
seeing it already. Yeah, we're seeing that it looks like it, but yeah. But there's also no, I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We'll
I think you're right.
But
It's really just going to come down to where Dominion Dog hits, how the Zerglings are able to engage, and yeah, just if the queens are all there to transfuse. A lot of little details that will go into it, but we'll have to wait and see. As this is shaping up to be pretty much, the exact same build here. We're gonna have that starport finished up. So once we get the Raven, that's the big linchpin to this push. Because it does, again, if you hit early enough, it does help a lot against those burrowed roaches. If you can stay on top of them, if you've got enough of them in retreat that you can keep pushing them back. So we'll see what happens here. A lot of drones coming out. Connie and Nana getting a swell of drones finishing up here. But both bots staying really even on workers, so economies, even though Connie and Nana's up a base, economies are very, very even at the moment. It will start to favor Connie and Nana in about the next minute or two, though.
Yeah.
Really start to favor. Yeah, this is starting to really look good for Connie and Nana.
Yeah, see what he has at the time.
Economy's strong. He'll have the units.
I kind of like the farther back the army is grouped, I think the better for him.
For Connie and Nana or Dominion Dog?
For Connie and Nana.
I think that's better for Dominion Dog, because what if Dominion Dog comes and hits outside the third here, and then you've got half your queens or roaches or whatever, and they die quickly while the rest then has to swing around, because that's kind of a long swing around.
Well, if the queens are in front, I think that's even better, because they're going to live long enough for the lings to get there. It's if my concern is if the lings are way too far in front.
I see what you're saying. If they just get roasted right away,
they're dead. Yeah. So if the lings are way back in your main base, then there's an auto delay on them that it's going to stop them from killing themselves.
Well, and ideally you can get a little bit of a surround with the Zerglings and not just push into a choke point first.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So we'll see. Fourth base coming down here, and I believe the push should be commencing very shortly here in the next 30 seconds or so for Dominion Dog. That Raven, I think, is about to pop out. Oh, nope, already done. So here we go. I think Dominion Dog's going to start pushing. Oh, doesn't get the Overlord. Oh, that would have been,
it would be a good pick.
Okay.
It would probably force him to make another one.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. There we go. He does get it.
He got it on the way out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, one more Overlord, and actually Connie and Nana's supply blocked. Okay, no, he's got more.
Yeah, he had a couple on the way. But, yeah. Here
we go. This is a big open area. This could favor the Zerglings if they can get a decent engage here, but a lot are getting roasted.
Yeah.
A lot of roasted Zerglings, and now the Marauders are free to kind of kite back and take a lot of pot shot. They're actually going to get a lot of damage done here. How many queens are here? I'm so pixelated.
I literally cannot even see queens.
I think there's, based on how many, where the shots are going, I think there's like 5, 4, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's like 4 left.
Yeah, it's really bad. Basically, there was so much more of a spread here. In the last game where they would get caught on the bridge, there were only ever like 5 in the front line. This is a front line of like 13.
Oh, yeah, Dominion Dog's got the army.
Yeah, the damage gets spread everywhere.
The damage is done, Endersword.
Yeah,
it got spread too much.
It broke through.
Broke through Connie and Nana's defense. And Dominion Dog will be moving. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything yet. The count's still dead even, but I think Dominion Dog will be moving on to the round of 8. Double the army supply right now. But again, if before this base falls, Connie and Nana can clean this up. I actually do think Connie and Nana could recover.
I do too. I do too. As long as he doesn't really lose. Yeah.
If he can clean this up,
there will be. He's got to clean this part up before
it's the second wave that
the
crushes
second wave
him,
hits. Yeah.
And that's the thing, yeah, he's spending so much time to clean this up. Yeah, by the time the second wave gets there, it's like, oh, whew, I just finally finished killing the first wave. Now let me start to recover. Oh, second wave is already ready, you know. So, yeah, no, I think this is going to be just a little bit too much here.
Yeah, and as much as we're looking at, too, how Connie is pulling back injured units, Dominion Dog's doing the same very well.
Oh, yeah, great micro.
He's pulling injured Marauders back and stuff. And keep it, like, look at how spread around the damage has been. And that's not just random, that's Dominion Dog's effort to keep it that way. So he will clean this up, but can he stabilize before a next wave hits?
Before the next hit, yeah.
Look, it's starting to move, so he will barely clean this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he cleans it up. It's like, all right, now I can start to macro again. And he doesn't. Connie has a great worker count. Did that base actually fall? Or no, that base lived. For Connie Army Supply still vastly in Dominion Dog's favor, however. And I think with the medvacs here now, it's going to be too much. The Marauders were doing such a good job without medvacs. Now they can heal. So, yeah, no, that's going to be game. Dominion Dog is going to move on to the round of 8 with this phenomenally strong ground push. And, yeah, with even Marines now to deal with any anti-air or air units that might be coming out. Has to be like mutas or something, but nope, none of that this game. Great play out of both these bots. We've got a Terran moving on to the round of 8.
We do indeed.
We've got, who do we have? So we've got -0, we've got Spud, we've got Micro Machine, and now we've got Dominion Dog. We've got 3 Terrans so far in the round of 8. And that's just in groups A and B. Ketrock, 4 Terrans in the round of 8. And Eris and Azurk. So we've got 4 Terrans in the round of 8 already.
Too many.
Is that too many? I don't know.
Get good other races.
Well, we'll see. We've got Benbot and Sharkbot next match, and Benbot could be the 5th. And then Zozo Dovakin will be maybe even one more. No, Zozo's Protoss. I'm sorry for that to be Pro. So yeah, we've got potential for 5 Terrans in the round of 8.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But hey, great match here. Great series between these two. Very close, very back and forth. I'm very impressed by both these bots, how close they were, and how closely matched that was. Yeah, 50% Terran minimum guaranteed at this point, and maybe one more. We'll see. But that's our first 2 matches. We've got our first 2 bots in the scrap pile, and we have now got 6 bots in the round of 8 with 2 more spots to fill, which will be happening after a quick little break here. We're going to go to a little 5-minute rest period. You can go grab a drink, a snack, whatever you need to get comfortable and ready for our next series. We've got Sharkbot Benbot coming up next. That's going to be an insane game, I think. I think that's going to be another one of those wonky games, almost like one we saw last week, Sharkbot versus Ketrock. Was very back and forth and just really a lot of weird stuff happening. I think we could see something similar tonight. And then Zozo and Dovakin will be going up as our final match. So make sure you stay tuned here to ES Champ ProBots for day 5 of our tournament, our last round of group games here, and then into our round of 8 next week. So, yeah, we'll see you after a quick little 5-minute break. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you in a minute. And we're back, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to ES Champ ProBots. Here on day 5, our final games in our group stages, and our final bots will be moving into the round of 8 here. We've already got 6 bots that have moved on, and 2 more from our last 2 best of 3s tonight will be moving on. And we've got an exciting game coming up, Endersword. Sharkbot versus Benbot. Let's go ahead and let's start talking about these two. Now, we saw Sharkbot versus Ketrock last week, and that was one of our most interesting and exciting games, I think, of the season so far. It was so back and forth, just a lot of chaos, a lot going on. So this is going to be an interesting match as well, because Benbot is also very good defensively, much like Ketrock is. Benbot can really withstand a lot of early pressure, a lot of harassments, things like that. So we'll kind of see what happens here. Actually, let's take a look at. Can we take a look at our full bracket real quick? Do we have it updated for our round of 8, or what? You know, the ones that we've finished so far tonight. Just so we can, in case anybody's just tuning in here.
Okay.
Yeah, just pull up the current bracket. That's fine. Just pull up a bracket. Something. But yeah, again, we're deciding our last 4 bots tonight that are going into the round of 8. In case you've just tuned in. So Group A here is all finished up. Spud and -0 are the two bots that have moved on. So we've got a Protoss and a Terran there. Group B, we've got Micro Machine and who needs to be updated? Dominion Dog. Another Terran. There it is.
There we go. There's
So
the two.
two more Terrans into the round of 8 from Group B. So really strong Terrans as well. Again, these are Micro Machines, just always strong. And then Dominion Dog each season, again, has gotten stronger and stronger. So, two very strong Terrans going in. Ketrock, another incredibly strong Terran from Group C, has moved on. And then we're about to decide whether Sharkbot or another Terran, Benbot, will be moving on. Hey, maybe this is the season of Terran win. Last season was Zerg, wasn't it? Didn't Zerg just dominate up into the round of 4 almost?
Mostly.
I think it was a lot of Zerg. And then our final match of the night will be Zozo versus Dovakin. Eris, of course, moving on into the round of 8 already. Tyr, the only one to take a game off, one of the only bots to take a game off of Eris in any of the past like 2 or 3 seasons. Eris just doesn't drop games.
Yeah,
very rarely. Very rarely will it happen. So, no, this is going to be a good matchup here. But yeah, let's go and pull up some bot statistics here and talk about, I'm assuming, Sharkbot. Yeah.
Bot first. Yeah.
There
third appearance. Looking cool.
Looking super cool. And he joined us, was it last week? My weeks are always a blur. I'm pretty sure it was last week. He just joined us on PostBots recently. Pretty sure that was last week.
And we did a Sharkbot puzzle.
We did a show. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. That's why I'm getting. Yeah, that was. We did the puzzle of this image 2 weeks ago on PostBots. Yes. Last week we had the author, Shark Nice, joined us and we chit-chatted with him. And tonight we're gonna see Sharkbot go up against Benbot. And again, both bots very strong. Benbot, I think, has been around a little bit longer than Sharkbot. A little bit. This is seventh season for Benbot. And Benbot also has a 3rd place victory where Sharkbot hasn't even been in the top 4 just yet. So we'll see. Maybe this is Sharkbot season to get into that top 4. I definitely think Sharkbot has a great chance of getting into the round of 8 here, especially with his showing so far against who did he go up against? Oh, he 2-0'd Benbot in the second week. I forgot about that. Yeah. And then he took a game off of Ketrock. So his Terran versus or whatever Protoss versus Terran play is incredibly strong.
Indeed, but they have been able to do updates, so that can.
That is a huge thing to keep in mind. Both these bots have been updated. So even though it was a 2-0 for Sharkbot in round 1, whatever that was, in the round of 16, does not mean that will be the case tonight. Actually, I need to pull up those updates. Okay, we're going to get this game loaded up here in 30 seconds. Again, check out our Crown Club if you haven't already, if you like extra content. Tomorrow night, we'll have author of -0, Mind Me, joining us on PostBots. So come hang out, fill out fantasy brackets with us. It will be probably our best PostBots yet, just because we get to fill out those fantasy brackets. But
yes, that is fun.
It's going to be fun. Benbot and wait, who else is up? Benbot, Sharkbot. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Too many bots. It's hard to keep track of them all.
All right. Bots.
I've got the notes pulled up. We're gonna go ahead and dive into this best of 3. Thank you again, everybody, for being here for day 5, our final day of group games. And let's go ahead and see who will move on, Sharkbot or Benbot. Let's go.
I realized just today our show rundown
Shark
stuff
Nices.
is the same software my work is.
Sharkbot.
Huh. Fairly decent.
Glossiers.
Benbot BC.
Okay. So while we are here on Hardwire, as we watch these 2 probes come across, obviously not to do anything weird, they're just scouting, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit about Benbot, Endersword. Do you have any of his updates there?
I do indeed. I mean, I can tell you his usual artillery, his usual whatever, is bunker contains defensive magnet, awesome bunker, and then eventually getting into BC. But
Yep.
what he's done, so he's made a few updates. Avoid sieging tanks in the ramp. So I think, assuming he's going to try and not block himself.
Well, like on the ramp
like
itself.
on a
That's
ramp, I
smart.
think,
Oh
yeah.
my god, what is this? Triple gateway proxy out of Sharkbot here. Ooh, but no, that is yeah. We've seen bots struggle with ramps a lot, so that's a really good update to be working on, especially as the tools get better for map analyzing for these bots. They can really identify what are ramps, what are chokes, what is this and that.
Yeah, a lot of these are kind of minor tweaks at building a few less SCVs, minor maps improvement for hardware and waterfall, which is this hardwire is this map.
Okay, so
maybe,
some minor map
maybe
improvements
he's
based on
learned
that. Yeah.
something here. But I think this one will come down to obviously this proxy up in the corner, and
A lot of SCVs got pulled for that.
Yeah.
Was that all the SCVs? There's 2 more. How many SCVs are even mining right now? Okay, a few more coming back. They want these probes dead. Okay, there's still a decent amount mining actually.
Yeah.
And he's got mules, so. Whoa!
Okay.
Sharkbot coming across with everything all ending with the Zealot proxy probe pull all in. This is like something you'd see out of a Terran, pulling all the SCVs.
This
to
is
go with your
really
little Marine
interesting. So 3 SCVs wandering by. It's going to be interesting if they go on repair mode. One of them went for the depot first.
Okay, no SCVs are getting pulled to repair. Maybe from the main mineral line as the bunker gets low, they will, but this bunker's dead. The Marines inside will also fall, because those Zealots are just right up in the face with probes to block behind. And this is looking super strong out of Sharkbot. Yeah, you can pull all the SCVs you want, but the Zealots are going to dice these SCVs up.
One Zealot was almost dead. I think it did die there.
He's dead now, yep. But there's still 2 here, and they're slicing and dicing SCVs. Well, the probes take a lot of hits, actually. The probes are able to take a hit, pull back, and let the shields recharge.
2 Marines in the back here are putting in some work for sure. And that Zealot has retreated. Yeah.
It's dead supply, supply is dead even. This is just so incredibly close. My mind is blown right now.
Benbot has money.
He's going to hold, and Benbot has money, and the Zealot pulled back. The Zealot gave up while the probes are still here fighting.
I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can talk to us about this. I don't think that Sharkbot intended to do a worker rush. I think Sharkbot thought that Benbot was worker rushing.
Oh, and you think this was pulled in response to that?
I do think that.
No, that had to have been a Zealot.
I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense because he didn't even make 3 Zealots.
Yeah, you're right. He did only make.
If you can look back in the chat here.
Did make 3?
I don't think he did. You look back. Enemy strategy, worker rush.
Oh, snap. I think
Failed
you're right.
Worker rush. So did he, for whatever reason,
well, a bunch of workers got pulled to deal with those 2 probes.
Yeah, and I think
they were coming across, so we thought it was a worker rush.
Because there was a lot of them, and I think he mistook that for a worker rush.
That's hilarious. Zealot actually does get 1 more Marine kill here, but no, he's gonna fall to this last Marine as long as he micros. There you go. Wow, I think you're right. I think the worker, quote unquote, perceived worker rush.
Yeah.
From Sharkbot, just screwed him up, and he wasn't able to follow through properly. But it worked. It almost worked out. It was still a really cool.
That was close. I think
attack. With the Zealots and the probes to tank. And
had he gotten, say, a second Zealot or a third Zealot out, it might have been enough to break through cleaner. Fighting on the ramp was not optimal.
No, Dyson has the perfect analysis. The overreaction caused an overreaction. It's just overreactions on top of each other that escalated to a win for Dominion or for Benbot. I'm sorry.
I think that's exactly what happened.
That's awesome. All right, well, game 1 going to Benbot, even though Sharkbot was the one trying to put on the really aggressive play there, and just didn't work out. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. I think Sharkbot's going to switch it up in game 2. He's pretty good at mixing things up and giving us something fresh, especially if the first one fails. But we'll see. Maybe he sticks to it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see it again now and
see it not
different
wrench
map,
thrown in
different
it.
situation that see if it actually would have worked. But I don't know what's up with that.
Well, all I know is that we saw it last week for Sharkbot's updates. He used a secret laboratory to artificially rapidly age his cheese there in preparation.
Mhm.
And Benbot had no problem dealing with that nicely aged cheese. He just, I don't even think he intended to shut it down like that. It just worked out really well in his favor. All right, well, let's go ahead and hop into game 2 and see what happens. See if we go to an ace match or if Benbot will join our other Terrans in the round of 8. Let's go. Shark nices.
Sharkbot.
Glossiers.
Benbot BC.
Okay, we're here on Moondance once again. Beautiful map here. I like this one. And I'm not even gonna predict what we're gonna see here because Sharkbot really does keep it fresh. And we're just gonna have a much more standard macro-oriented game out of both these bots. It seems like Gateway in the main is a huge tell for that, but we could still see proxied Stargate. We've seen Sharkbot do that in the past. Or some kind of shenanigans of the sorts. Maybe even just some kind of proxy pylon to do an early attack. An early warp gate attack of sorts. I don't know.
It's always good to see some shenaniganery.
Looks like he's going to play. Yeah, he's getting ready to take a second, maybe even a third base. He's got a little worker scouting.
I think he's just scouting back there for a proxy. Yeah.
That's smart. Check it out. Sharkbot's on top of things this time. And he's going to play a much more standard game. We'll see how this shapes up. Benbot's going to be able to get a second base pretty easily here in that sense there's not going to be any early aggression coming across. So Benbot's little bunker defense will get set up pretty nicely here. And that's going to leave it up to Sharkbot to hit some kind of timing or maybe even just take it into later games still. Because once Benbot gets secured on 2 bases, it's really hard to break him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure is the case. Yeah, that's when it starts to spiral. Benbot's shown a little less aggression in trying to do the bunker contains this season so far, and just kind of going for his own defensive maneuver.
Worrying about himself,
yeah.
Minding his own business. That's good.
Indeed.
Not enough of that in today's world.
Sure enough. Take that as a note, Kanye. But his bunker rushes have won a number of games in the past, but I think as you hit more solid opponents, they're less likely to.
Yeah, well, and he doesn't even use it to try to break. It's more of a delay tactic
at this point. Yeah, it's not meant to win, but it has won.
Yeah, it has won before, but it's really meant just to kind of throw a wrench in the gears and slow things down on your opponent's side. But yeah, this time both bots just sticking it home, and there's a Stargate, not proxied. But we are going to see some more Stargate play. Sharkbot really becoming infamous for his oracles at this point. I'm predicting that's what we're going to see out of Sharkbot versus that oracle. And then, didn't we? Oh, yeah, we saw it was the stasis ward in the mineral line. I imagine that's what we're seeing again here. That was really, really cool. Hit every single mineral mining worker. So we'll see if that happens again this time around. Or maybe there might be Marines in position this time to stop it. It is a hard thing to pull off effectively, so we'll see. Ooh, get out of there, Probe. Probe needs to run. Marine's hot on his tail, so is that SCV. But Sharkbot's taking a decent little supply lead here. It's a nice worker advantage, and as some warp-ins start to happen, that army's going to even up nicely. So both bots are in a very even position at this point. Yeah, just very standard 2-base play. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, wait, Sharkbot thinks that Benbot's on 1 base? Is that what he just said?
That's, as far as I could tell, that is what he said, which is technically, I guess, true. That command center was just building.
Enemy strategy, 1 base. Oh, does it mean 1 base more?
No, I think he means 1 base. Like, at the time he said that, this command center was barely started. I don't think he knew it existed. So,
both games, Sharkbot misreading the situation a little bit, it feels like.
Tiny bit. Yeah, it's down to if he thinks that.
Okay, he saw it there with the
Yeah,
hallucination,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the new pet? Oh yeah, in case anybody forgot, we did talk a little bit about it last week in PostBots. Sharkbot, you can actually talk to Sharkbot in the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm not I forget exactly how. You're gonna have to ask someone smarter than me, but I think there's just a channel where you can go chit chat with him. I mean, let me know if anybody knows in chat how to do that exactly. Just check out the AI Arena Discord. I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. Yeah, Sharkbot evolved from a chatbot, is now playing StarCraft professionally in ProBots. Quite the history out of Sharkbot.
It is.
One of our more tenured bots at this point,
Yes,
based on
indeed.
that alone.
Yes, indeed.
All right, yeah, just very defensive here out of Benbot. We've seen this
Yeah, which
from
is pretty
time to
normal
time
for him.
where
Yeah.
Benbot's almost too defensive sometimes. This time it's going to work out because Sharkbot is sticking on 2 bases and just cranking out units. So it's actually going to really help out this time. But we've seen it in the past where Benbot stays on 2 bases just a little too long, and then the opponent can get 4 or 5 bases by the time the third's even started occasionally. But, ooh, gets the Oracle. No
Oracle
stasis this
dropped.
time around. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's units are in position. The Oracle's so fragile. It can just get picked off right away. So
Yeah.
did not get that stasis, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, he's got the Widow Mine there. Was that what hit it?
Was it the mine? Yeah,
it was
maybe.
mine.
It was hard for us.
Well, I
to
saw the
see
Marines
with-
there. I saw the Marines there,
With
too.
some
Maybe
of
the
this
Marine
pixelation.
finished it.
But,
yeah, oh, God, we're so pixelated.
Yeah, I thought a Marine did it.
Uh-oh, I don't want to get imagine getting
Yeah,
a virus.
the Widow Mine has no kills, so yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, well, I think the Widow Mine hit it, and then Marine finished it off.
Not maybe. Yeah, maybe in this case.
Because an Oracle can take 1 Widow Mine hit, right? Yeah. Yeah, it leaves it with like
Barely,
5 health
yeah,
or
like
something.
barely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like barely survives. Anyway, here comes a little push. Benbot with a squad of Marines bravely going across to what I'm assuming will be their death. I don't think that... Okay, no, they're turning around. They don't even have combat shields. No medevac support. They do have a couple Marauders here now. And a Viking to be able to push away the Oracle. So, again, great defense. Benbot, like I was saying, is just so hard to break on 2 bases. Benbot's really solid with his defense. And I think we're going to get up to the Battlecruiser phase in the game soon. I'm feeling a Fusion Core. Again, I can't even see the production tab. It's so blurry.
Nor can I.
But
can see that there are things.
I'm predicting a Fusion Core very shortly. I think it actually just finished. I'm looking at, yeah, it did. On the stream, it just finished. Or it's getting close to finishing on stream. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna have Battlecruisers here, Undersword, very shortly. And that might be what Benbot needs. I don't know, with the Void Rays out though, Sharkbot's gonna have a really good chance to target them down, and with a lot of Stalker support. But here we go, the Stalker's engaging the Bio Ball, and I think this actually goes to Sharkbot. Yeah, Benbot's a little bit on the run with no medevac support.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of damage
And
here.
good revelation on everything too, which provides
Oh yeah, he
vision
sees the
up
high ground.
ramp.
Yeah.
Because you could often break contact if you kind of go up a ramp, but not going to play there. Good positioning on this Liberator. This is going to
That
be really hard
Liberator's
to
gonna
push
get
into.
a lot of kills.
Really, really tough with the 2 tanks behind as well.
Oh, there we go. This is what, this is what Benbot wants. Benbot
Yeah.
loves it when you attack into his bunker Liberator defense, and Sharkbot just fed him some units there, evened it back out very nicely. All right, so we're gonna fall back. Tempests are on the way to deal with Benbot's Battlecruisers now, Undersword,
They are indeed.
which we do have Yamato. We can see that on our blurry screen. That little
Yes.
orange squiggle is Yamato. Yeah, this is shaping up to be... this is interesting. We don't see the bots usually get up to this high of tech on so few bases. Sharkbot just now has a third base finished. Benbot, is Benbot working on that third?
Ooh,
Yeah,
I think
the
you'll like that.
Orbital just finished, yeah.
Check out the build. Mass Stalker Prism.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Are we actually going to get that this game? Are we going to see Mass Stalker Prism? We saw it weeks ago. It was teased to us. Some incredibly micro-intensive Warp Prism with Stalkers. Like, there was like 3 or 4 of them. All micro and individually, dropping out, causing chaos. It didn't work out, unfortunately. But if it has been refined, I could see that working really well. Unless, of course, a Battlecruiser Yamato's the Warp Prism and just kills it with 4 Stalkers inside.
Yes,
But
that would be rough.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what
But yeah,
happens.
but the funny that he says that though, like with 4 Tempests already out.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
see any
that's
Warp
clearly
Prisms.
not.
Oh, he's getting a
not
Robo now.
actually,
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll get it, Endersword. Don't worry. He's working on it.
Okay. Okay.
I know once that Robo finishes up, I think we'll start seeing some Warp Prisms. Now we're actually seeing Observers, I think, first, which is good. You want detection in case there's Cloak Banshees. We do see a lot of Cloak Banshees out of our Terrans. Some of our Terrans, rather. And even putting a few Stasis Wards randomly throughout the map. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm assuming, yeah, the Terran can see the little shimmer. But, again, Oracles aren't used very frequently. So unless a bot specifically has something to deal with this, which I don't think he doesn't. All the Marines get captured there. Thankfully, the battlecruiser's okay. Well, wait, no, it hits air units, right?
I think it. Yeah.
No, it only hits ground
with air. Yeah, you can't trigger with air.
No.
That would be cool. But
I'm thinking of the Stasis Ward from Brood War. I've been watching a lot of some Brood War games recently.
Nice.
And you get that stasis off with the thing. Okay, yeah, so this just delayed everything. Benbot is going to pull back. But still, a really nice little stasis and great strategery. Again, if a bot doesn't specifically have code to identify and deal with a stasis ward, you could just walk into it like this. And, if you've got a big ball of units, that could be make or break for your big engagement that you're about to take. So, okay, where's the Mass Vikings? Okay, so he sees Mass Vikings. We see carriers on the way. No Warp Prisms just yet. We do have Blink on the way, so maybe we're going to see that as a transition into, like, this Warp Prism Blink Stalker. Wow, this Stalker really wants that alien. He was glued to him. All right, here we go. Again, carriers is one of those things that's also not utilized a lot. More so because the Protoss have a hard time dealing with it. But nice Tempest shots are going to force the battlecruiser out of this engagement immediately. And now the Vikings are going to start taking a few hits as they go a little bit too far forward away from the Bio Ball as the Zealots push that Bio Ball back. And even an Immortal in the fray, but that Immortal needs to get out. The Zealots are all dead, so he needs to pull back.
The interceptors there getting picked off by the Marines, but
I think it's going to be enough to push through.
Yeah.
The Tempests are able to finish off the rest of the Marines, and now the carrier will be able to replace those interceptors. And there's nothing but Marauders here.
They're nothing shoots up anymore. Yeah, there's
nothing shoots up anymore. Oh, that battlecruiser does. Now Vikings don't technically shoot up. They're shooting straight because they're already up in the air.
Yeah, there is only one altitude.
That is true.
In StarCraft.
Yes, in StarCraft. Vikings getting picked off here. We've only really seen one bot deal effectively with Tempest by using Vikings, and that's Ketrock. But we'll see if Benbot can maybe get enough Vikings out that they can dive onto those Tempests and pick them off. We do have Thors on the way with some great upgrades coming down for both the bots. This is going to get into the late game. This is what I was predicting. Just a really late game scenario that just became a war of attrition like we saw last week a bit. And I'm so glad that we get it here in game 2. Carriers, Tempests, all the cool stuff, Endersword. Storm even being
It is the Golden Armada.
It is. We're getting close to it. Well, we need that Mothership core. Once we get, Mothership, not the core. I miss the Mothership core, man. That was
Me too.
I thought it was a fun.
I said that the other day, and somebody actually it was Scarlet, that was like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, I just liked it.
It was fun. It wasn't overpowered. It didn't really do anything that amazing, but it could. If you get some decent, like some really well-placed time warps or clutch recall. That was the first recall phase for StarCraft 2, where you were able to go hit a nat or an expansion of your enemy, get into a nice spot in the mineral line, do some damage, and then when things were about to go south, you just recall out of there. Yeah. That was epic, man. Oh, the carrier goes down to the turret. That's no good. And this is what we were talking about. The carriers have a hard time because we've heard they don't know when they're out of interceptors.
Yeah, they don't know what they're
So they just keep moving forward. You can see it's on attack move and wants to attack, like, oh, I've got interceptors. But it just moves into turret range because it doesn't actually have interceptors to launch. So anyway, it gets a little dicey. There are still enough here that they're doing damage with the Stalkers. I want to say it's going to be enough to break through, but
I think the real key is actually these 2 Immortals on the ground.
They're doing a ton of damage.
Yeah,
they're doing a great job staying alive. Well, with that Warp Prism now, you see the Warp Prism doing some phenomenal micro with it finally. And those Immortals are almost
Oh, there you go.
It might die now that the Warp Prism's gone.
The Disruptor in the back's kind of cool too. I don't know if it's really going to help, but I like it there.
We're seeing all the cool Protoss stuff
Yeah.
right now, but Benbot is holding
those,
on strong. He is holding the ground here, Endersword.
I can't tell. Those Thors are moving as if they're stuck, but I don't think they are. I think they. Just
I think
kinda
they
wanna
want
be
to
there.
attack, like,
Yeah.
but from the high ground. Yeah, they're not stuck. It doesn't look like it. Maybe the path out is, and they're just, yeah, their path's weird. Where they're standing right now, they're not stuck, but the path, like the little exit's too small. No, they can get out. Yeah, what are they doing? Oh wait, no, they can't. That's too small for
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm wondering. If they're really stuck, they're dancing.
The add-on is blocking them. The add-ons are making it so they can't get out. That's
They
just
can't
barely
get.
too
Yeah,
narrow.
you're right. It's just too.
Oh, that's
just
hilarious.
Too little.
I think we saw that last or 2 weeks ago out of Benbot too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I could have sworn we saw that.
Benbot does that a lot. We've seen it with tanks. We've seen it with Thors. Like it's Benbot's favorite thing.
It's unfortunate building placement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Vikings have all pretty much gone down, and now the Tempests are going to have a lot of free reign as the Stalkers are able to buffer for the battle cruisers and that kind of thing. A couple more Vikings coming out, but they're busy fighting Interceptors. That's not necessarily the best engagement. Okay, they're going to maybe come up here and save this base now. This is so close, Endersword. Yeah, supply is slightly in Sharkbot's favor, but Benbot is holding on just barely here.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going to get that Tempest? Ah, so close. He gets it. Last shot out of that Viking. Incredible. Oh my gosh, this is just so back and forth. We've got late game upgrades coming out now. We've got the reactor, the Corvid reactor for the Raven, so more energy. Just everything is coming out here. Is that building armor? No, that's not. That's just regular. But +3 getting close to finish across the board for our Protoss player. Vikings are finally getting some traction here. They're really doing a good job dealing with the Air Force. Their problem is when they fly over all the Stalkers. They just don't really seem to have a defense, or I don't know, anything to say, oh, don't do that, you know. They're just really focused on killing the air units, which is kind of working. But they're losing a lot of Vikings. A lot of Vikings are going down because of it.
Yeah, that's it. And he really needs to accumulate. Like Benbot's entire thing is kind of accumulating and then rolling through eventually.
Ooh,
But,
look
yeah.
at those resources
Crazy.
lost. Yeah,
like
Sharkbot
very-
loves to take it into these late game scenarios.
Yeah, both of them kind of do. That's
Both
the
of
big
them do,
thing.
yeah.
Like Benbot is like kind of really a late game survivor.
Yeah, just
And,
likes to play a little more defensively, a little more passively,
Come in with this.
wear
group.
down his opponent. Oh, gets a
This
pile
is-
on. All right,
Yeah.
that's something. Ooh, storm goes down. Yeah, those Marines are done for.
The Marines definitely did not understand there was still a storm there.
A little too brave. Well, I
kept-
think they
kept walking
understood
back
it,
in.
but they went
saw
back
it.
in. Yeah.
they went back in.
Well, they're like, oh, I'm taking damage. I need to leave here. But the second they're done taking damage, they're like, oh, I can go back in there. Oh, battlecruiser's gonna go down. Oh, barely gets out of there. Another battlecruiser's gonna delay and buy it some time to get the heck out of Dodge. Oh, this is so close, Ender Sword. I think, though, that Sharkbot's slowly breaking through. It's just constantly been at 200 supply, where Benbot's slowly slipping in that army supply. It is slowly dwindling, and with just incredible Warp Prism Micro here is really making the battles so much better for Sharkbot. They're really helping favor Sharkbot. These disruptors just gonna chill, I guess. What are they doing? Are they on cooldown?
I
Are
don't
they
know
gonna
what
shoot?
they.
Okay, now they're
I-
retreating. They're
yeah,
getting out of there now.
They're confused. They were a bait for this battle cruiser.
Yeah, Yamato goes off, but it doesn't kill anything, unfortunately, for Benbot. And more Vikings come out, but they just eat a
Nice.
huge storm.
Yeah, like the storm
Oh,
on the
man.
Vikings. That's good damage.
I know there's definitely not been much harass this game. It's all just been non-stop army engagement. Those two Thors could have been huge in some of these fights, man. Obviously, they're going to help
Yeah.
out a little bit here against the Interceptors. They do clean up the Interceptors, which is really nice.
Yeah, they're inadvertently like a really good last line of defense in the position
Yeah.
there, because where they are is actually really good. It's
really
just
safe, yeah.
Yeah, like
You
it's
just can't
good
ever
and
push
long.
back with
Yeah,
them now.
yeah.
So when you have a moment where like, oh, I'm pushing back, I sure could use a couple of Thors to keep this going, they're not going to be there. I'm a little bit afraid for this base. That's a lot of very high-powered units. Disruptors, Carriers, Tempests, and they're gunning for this planetary fortress.
Yeah, and I think it is potentially going to fall this time. Does he still have any Immortals left anywhere on the map? Because that was the key to.
I think there's a couple
Yeah.
under there. What does he have? I can't
can't
see
see.
that. Two?
Oh, this
Let's
is
say two.
there's some. God knows what's happening there.
Oh god, there's a probe
Oh,
trying to
he-
build a cannon, but he's stuck. No,
I
oh,
think
he
he's
is. I think.
yeah, I think he's stuck in 2 different ways.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuck
Careful
units
later.
this game.
Yeah.
It's really making things interesting here.
Yeah.
Colossus just doing nothing. That's interesting.
Well,
Oh, it's the no.
I
The
think it's
Colossus
also
could get
stuck.
out, right?
I don't think so.
No, it
'Cause
can't go over the big
it
buildings.
can't go
right?
over. It can't go over buildings or that cliff because there's plants there.
Oh my goodness. So that is going to change the name of the game here a little bit. That actually means the supply difference is not
Yeah.
that much. I mean, yeah, I guess there's 2 Thors on one side and a bunch of probes and a Colossus on the other. Who knows? Maybe even more stuck units somewhere else. This is just so wonky of a game here. Oh, Benbot's slowly bringing that supply back up to 180 plus here. It is slowly evening out, but there's just no real cohesion, it feels like, out of Benbot at the moment. It's kind of like we saw that one game where he just had too many units defensively, not enough with the main army, not enough to push across. He's going to clean up the interceptors once again here and holds this planetary. That's huge. Oh, here we go. The Vikings finally getting a phenomenal engagement, going to be able to chase down some of these carriers. Oh, the carrier does go down. Could even get this warp prism probably. Yeah, there's no anti-air really here. Oh, where's he going?
Yeah.
Don't go into the cannons. No, no, go to the warp prism. Yeah, there. All right, they're gonna a lot of Vikings dying. How many Vikings have died? I'm guessing like
A lot.
70.
I don't know about 70, but at least
89,
89,
90.
90.
Yeah, I was
Crazy.
low. I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna be low. I almost said 90 actually is my first number, but then I was like, no, that's too high. Goodness gracious,
seems
that's
high.
a lot
It's
of dead Vikings.
It's high
It
for a
seems
normal
high.
game. It's high
It's
for
a lot of
normal game,
Vikings.
but
They're
that-
expensive.
Yeah.
That many Vikings is expensive.
Yeah.
That's like a third of the U.S.'s military budget. A lot of Vikings. Ton of Vikings.
They do use Vikings
In the future, they will.
in the future. Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Benbot is finally pushed back, Sharkbot, to his own base, which has bought him just a little bit of breathing room, where he's now able to kind of even that supply up just a little bit more. But again, every engagement just really seems to be favoring Benbot, and in a war of attrition with more bases, Sharkbot.
Yeah.
Sharkbot is favoring Sharkbot, and with more bases, Sharkbot is just going to be able to trade better. You know, even if you're trading at a little bit of a deficit, if you've got more money, you're still trading better.
There's also still kind of no plan to hurt anything that Sharkbot has. So like the Vikings are designed to reset like the main army, but then that's it. Like the battle cruisers need to be there in big enough number to do any damage to anything else. And it just seems like we get a Viking number, then they get bold and die. And then we kind of reset what the position is. There's not many like units like this, but he kind of needs more of this stuff to be able to push in.
All right, well, big Viking force here to accompany the battlecruiser. Not a lot for Sharkbot. Where'd Sharkbot's army go? There it comes. It's going to kind of come down here. It's a little bit scattered, but nice storm's going to kill, or at least damage a lot of these Vikings. Just push this back once again. Yeah, there's just no pushing power to Benbot's army. It's got some nice technical things, like you can snipe a couple air units if it catches them out in the open. It can, you know, kind of hold the ground with the battlecruisers, but there's just nothing decisive to break through any of Sharkbot's defenses. Where Sharkbot has, like, when he pushes, he'll have carriers and tempests and immortals and just all these hard-hitting and disruptors to zone the area out, and just all these hard-hitting things. Where, yeah, I don't know, it's just not quite enough of a good enough competition for Benbot. That being said, Benbot has evened things up again. Supplies right up there at 200 for both the bots again. So we're going to see here as this engagement, I think we'll go in Benbot's favor because there's just carriers and all the interceptors should get cleaned up, and by then you're going to have a lot of dead carriers because there's a lot of Vikings and anti-air here.
They're also not even really targeting the air stuff.
What are they shooting? Yeah, what are they?
They're killing like SCVs on the ground here because I think they think their target is like the PF. And so they're targeting the thing repairing the PF. But which
Okay, so they do pull back. I guess the pullback moment is when they start taking damage. That's kind of when he realizes, oh, I'm out of interceptors. Because
Yeah,
again,
this
the
is
bots
pretty
cannot
costly.
identify when they're out of interceptors.
yeah, this is quite costly. It's
There
too
we
bad he
go.
doesn't have cannons there. He's got
Go
them
Vikings.
at that side spot.
Get it, Vikings. They get the warp prism. And some continue left, some branch back right. Interesting. Okay, now they're going to get a little bit separated, so the Tempest will have an easier time dealing with them as they're separated. With Stalkers that are support too, we're going to lose a lot more Vikings here. We've got to be up to like 150 dead Vikings, right? What are we at? Once this one dies.
Let's say 130.
130? Nah, it's got to be. Okay, 114. Yeah, we're closer to 130. Jeez. This is a true war of attrition. But again, Benbot just has not expanded in, oh gosh, 10 minutes almost now. Where Sharkbot has all the other bases. The ones even on Benbot's side, Sharkbot is taking.
Sharkbot also has this massive bank, and Benbot is constantly running low.
Yeah, no, Benbot's just he's gonna lose this war of attrition. He doesn't have the funds. He doesn't have the mining bases. Doesn't have the army composition necessary to deal with this.
Nice storms yet again.
But what composition does deal with Disruptor, Tempest, Carrier, Storm, Stalker? Like, there's just everything for Protoss here. What do you get to deal with this? Is mass bio? Like,
I don't know exactly what you do. Like, the Disruptors, he's staying kind of off the ground because certain things here, like the Disruptors, are meaningless if nobody's on the ground.
I think some mass Viking Banshee
good.
play. Like
Banshee
I
think is... Yeah, I think Banshee might be one of the missing things, but that's the same sort of like really expensive play. I think maybe...
Well, it's only expensive if you lose a lot of them, like we're seeing on the Viking side.
The Raven, more Ravens maybe to throw turrets down.
Oh, that could be helpful, yeah.
Because I think that's a very good anti-interceptor sort of play.
Yeah.
It's a stall-out play too.
Well, this has been a long game, but I think Sharkbot's gonna break through here. It's now 170 supply. That number's starting to dwindle, and Benbot's just out of money.
Yeah, you can kind of see the mineral numbers there are moving pretty slow.
Yeah, he's just not even gonna be able to repair.
And you can see it going down by single digits. That's all the repair stuff, and he's zeroing out very quickly as he recalls back.
Well, and he's just Benbot's never been able to break anything of Sharkbot's, and again, he's not hitting the outside bases. Maybe he could. Yeah,
and that's another thing that again the bots are not going to be great at doing unless you really, really put a lot into it. But this is the type of situation where a human Terran is going to break off detachments and be hitting these outside bases with drops or like or like Banshee swing bys and stuff like that. Or even Viking lands. Like, there's a few ways you could do it, but you have to be getting out of this tug of war right down the middle. Like, if he's got this really good defensive area, he's got tons of these shield battery fallbacks, everything like that, you have to be cleaning up these edges and trying to take those bases.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because you need to keep expanding yourself, and that's just the next place to expand. So. No, this is broken through here. Yeah, that you can see that supply is just starting to plummet for Benbot. There's no money left to replace all those lost Vikings. What's our final count here? About 130 lost Vikings. There's 2 more about to die. 129. Yeah. So 131 should be our final. Or no, wait, was it? Did they just die and get out of that? Yeah, I guess it was 129. Yeah, that was it. Oh, here's 130 right there. Watch it. Ender Sword's prediction of 130 was correct. If this one dies, it will. It's gonna die. Oh, look at that! 2 more Vikings. Yeah, the Air Force is just kind of giving up. I guess they're waiting for repairs, but there's just no money to repair, so they can't go back into combat, unfortunately. But a great match here has brought us to a tie game, and that means we have a decider match to finish things off here. Another one, 2 in one night, Ender Sword.
Yeah, we do. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Wowza. All right, well, we're hopping into game 3 here. Very cool stuff. Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for being here tonight. These are some phenomenal games we're getting, and a great way to end our group stages tonight. Just some phenomenal, really close matches out of these bots. Really cool late game stuff. Yeah, all the cool Protoss stuff just clean in-house right now.
So this game 1 and game 2 were very different.
Oh, very different. Well, yeah, it's a rush and then, the most ultimate late game macro. We got past 30 minutes. That doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, not too much.
With these bots anymore. every now and then. I'd say at least 15 to 20% of our matches get up to the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, it's usually Benbot.
Usually Benbot or Ketrock,
Yeah.
Sharkbot now. Sharkbot does that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, half the time Sharkbot does it when he's not cheesing you. What is that? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Stalker's moonwalking. Go back. Go back. Oh, I think he's dead. Oh yeah, no, he's moonwalking. Look at him go.
It's like he's on ice.
Oh,
like he's, like,
and then he
skating.
died. Yeah, look at him go.
So the rest
hilarious.
of the stuff isn't really moving. It's kind of.
Now, is that because we're sped up, or is that how they're actually moving? Now slow it down here. Hold on. I think that's how they're actually moving. Oh no, it's because
Yeah,
it's
just
the frame rate makes it move so fast when you're fast forwarded.
Under the
That's
breakthrough,
awesome,
insta takes the base.
That's so funny. All right, this is wrapping up here, and then we'll get our final game loaded up for this series. But don't forget, we do have one more best of 3 after this one concludes, and that one's gonna be a quick, exciting one, I think. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But we've got to finish this one off. Who do you think's moving on? Are we gonna have a 5th Terran in our round of 8, or do you think Sharkbot's gonna be able to cheese his way in? I'm predicting a cheese out of Sharkbot in this next match. Now that he's
Maybe
won,
I kind of want to see a cheese.
I think he's gonna go back to cheesing.
but I don't know. But I think he may just macro it. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's true because you did win with it, so you might think,
Yeah,
oh, I'll
just
stick with that.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's typically more so the case. I'd like to see him switch it up and do a cheese again. That would be a fun way to get into the round of 8. But we'll see what happens. Hey, stick with what works. That's always a good way to go. All right, everybody, we've got one more match here in this best of 3, and then one more final best of 3 after it. So again, make sure you're sticking around. Tell everybody about ProBots. We've got exciting stuff coming up. Ooh, and a sword. We'll talk about it after this final match here. But humans versus bots next week will be available towards the end of next week. I think.
Will. I'm looking forward to that again.
So we're going to need you all to go play against the bots and send us replays again. We'll talk a little bit more about that in game here. But let's go and hop into our final game between these two to decide who will move on to the round of 8. Will it be Sharkbot or will it be Benbot? Let's go.
I'm just surprised it can get out enough. I could just turn this down, but
Shark nices. There you go.
I'm just surprised
Sharkbot.
get out enough that it gets into the mic, because I'm not
Mic is
that
good.
close. Like if I was right here, but I'm like here. That seems fair.
Glossiers. You would think.
Benbot BC.
All right, we are here on Inside and Out for our final match between these two. And yep, we're going to stick to our macro guns here. Sharkbot is building inside his own base. So no proxies, no cheeses coming across. But again, we've seen Sharkbot is reactive. He identifies, what the other player's doing sometimes and will change his build accordingly. So again, still a little bit open for interpretation what happens here. But I think we are going to get into another pretty late game scenario. I think we're going to have another at least up into Tempests and most likely into Carriers, and then Storm was a little bit later. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Benbot can make things happen with his battle cruisers this time around. Oh, cheeky pylon block coming down out of Sharkbot. We didn't see that last game, did we?
I don't think we've seen anyone really do this. But
I don't think we've ever seen a pylon block.
Yeah.
You only see that against Zerg
certainly not
usually
in a
too,
long
right?
time. I think in the past people had done that. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
it's pretty rare that you get that.
It's going to slow Benbot down. Absolutely. You see this SCV down here looking like he wants to build a command center, but actually not quite yet. No, there's still defenses must be built and then command centers can be taken. So I don't think this actually really does a whole lot to slow Benbot down, but cheeky idea. I like it, especially if the opponent is trying to do a nice early expansion. So
Yeah, it's disruptive. I think in past seasons, like a while back, people used to do more of this and like gas stealing and stuff to just be really disruptive.
Well, that's a great way to throw the bots
yeah.
off their stride, because
Yeah.
if they're programmed to follow a specific path, the second you make them deviate from that path even slightly, if they don't have a rebound, programmed in, they're just gonna break and not be able to continue. So no, it's definitely can be in your favor to do stuff like that and throw those wrenches in those gears. All right, well, things are going to shape up here to be, I think, a nice long macro game. We've got the defenses for Benbot already up, and he's going to be safe for a while. So are we going to see, I think we're going to see more oracles out of Sharkbot. I don't think on this map he can really make anything happen with the oracles. It's going to be really hard to get them behind that mineral line. Like, he already struggled last time. And this map, I think, is even harder because there's just not a lot of open airspace behind the bases. So... there's a bit, but there's plenty of space for Marines to get there and defend, and I think the Oracles aren't going to do so hot. Yep, we got the Stargate on the way now, so I think it's going to be Oracles Ender Sword.
Yeah, I think we'll at least get the opening with that, and whether they do the direct damage or not, I think the revelation, if the Oracles do stay alive and can give vision, I think is helpful. So.
Oh yeah, that vision is huge. That is one thing that the oracles, even if you're not using them to get kills, because we've seen it's very hard to use them to get kills. You can use it to get vision of the high ground, to just keep tabs on the opponent. You can use it to see burrowed units with it. There's a lot of uses for that detection. So
it looks like a void ray first though, and again, Sharkbot thought that this was a one base.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he called that out again. So may get some visual confirmation a little later that that's not in fact the case. But it's going to be a bit, because he's not going to be able to scout up here with the tank there. May think that this is one base for a while.
Oh yeah, he only sees the one,
That's all he knows.
Well, yeah, even if that slows down his next expansion, that gives Benbot a lot of time to just kind of do his thing. So.
Well, it could also make you more aggressive too, though. And say, okay, my opponent's one basing, so I'm gonna two base all in or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's gonna leaguer you in. Sharkbot just trying to have a nice conversation, but nobody ever responds. Poor Sharkbot.
True.
No one ever talks to him. Don't forget, you can go talk to Sharkbot in the Discord, in the AI Arena Discord somewhere. There should be a chatbot. Sharkbot has evolved from a chatbot. Go check that out. Here, I'm looking right now. Where is there a specific chat for that, or someone will have to tell me? There's
a link in our notes there somehow.
Yeah, check our notes somewhere. Oh, and speaking of that, just kind of going back to the humans versus bots, we forgot to expand upon that a little bit. While things shape up here, this is a good time to talk about it. The download link will be in the description below this video at some point in time next week. And next week's video will have it, I believe, as well. It should be in that because we need submissions. We need you to play against these bots and send us replays of your games against the bot. There will be a whole form of what to do and how to do it and all that when we get that link ready for you. But it's really gotten streamlined, and it's a lot better, a lot easier to download and play against these bots than it has been in the past. So definitely, I highly, highly recommend everybody go check it out and play against some of these bots. They're really fun to play against. Again, way better than the StarCraft AI that's currently in game that you can play against. It's really a lot of dynamic stuff. Some of these bots have, dozens of builds under their belt.
Yeah, sure.
You just don't know what you're going to get necessarily. So
definitely
keep an eye out for that.
And I think the thing triggering the invisible attacks is that he sees the burrowed widow mines.
Oh, what's happening? Invisible attacks?
He said, enemy strategy.
Oh, wow, the Oracle getting kills.
Kills.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the invisible attacks out of there. Okay, yeah. Oh, he sees the Viking. Okay, so he's going to get out. How many did he get? 2 kills? Hey, that's better than 95% of any other Oracle that's been built by a bot. So
I don't know why he tried to slalom out of there.
Interesting choice.
Instead of just flying away, but he.
What was it? We had one Oracle got like 5 kills, I think, was the record or something.
Someone eventually had Oracles late in a game, and somebody, I forget what it was, something weird, like workers just sat in the middle, and Oracle finally got like 20 kills or
Oh
something.
yeah, because
but
they
it
just
was
got to
like a
shoot
weird
him.
game.
Yeah, like a fish in a barrel kind of
Yeah.
scenario. Well, here we go. Sharkbot is pushing across with his third base done. Tempest in production. Nope, I'm full of it. He's pulling back home. Nope. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna go back home. Well, I thought we were gonna have some action, Endersword. I got excited. Yeah, that would have been a scary push. Oh wait, is he just looping back around to then
Go for it
follow?
again.
So he looped back around to catch up, so the Tempest could catch up, but it looped. Now he's got to loop back around again to catch up to the Tempest. I don't know what happened there. That's
We've had
interesting.
something about this map and like those
The
rocks. We've
Yeah, it
had a
was those
lot
rocks.
of bots like really do poorly with the
Oh,
rocks.
here we go. This is a great engagement for Benbot. He catches all the gateway units into a little pocket here with a phenomenal concave. Void around the high ground is going to get some damage done if he can clean up those Marines. But so far, Benbot is crushing this ground-based army. A hallucination's not going to do anything. It just dies so quickly. And yeah, no, I think Benbot's going to be able to hold this pretty easily. Wow. He just held that super easily.
Definitely did. That was really weird behavior by Sharkbot. To
Well, I think it was
tuck
just
himself.
a bad choice. He wasn't ready to fight.
He wasn't
was
ready,
about ready,
but he then didn't like decide to. He
Yeah.
did this weird. He neither retreated nor attacked.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to kite back. Well, and I think he was more in retreat mode, but did it in an area where he couldn't retreat because
can't
half
do
the
it.
units were blocking up that choke. The other half were stuck in that little pocket. Yeah, that was just perfect engagement spot for Benbot. I really think that was just down to the positioning. Because if Sharkbot had been able to engage with his own concave, with his Void Rays and Tempests in a proper spot, I think he could have crushed through that. Killed the
Yeah, I think so,
Marines,
too.
all of a sudden the Tempests and Voids finish off all the Marauders. Like, that could have been bad. So, nice hold, keeps things even. Benbot is still in this, absolutely.
I don't know if we saw this last time, but there's a Dark Shrine coming.
Ooh, we
We
did
saw
not.
the High Templar, but I didn't see any Dark Templar.
Interesting. So yeah, maybe he swapped his Templar tech. I wonder what there's a trigger like go for one or the other.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
signal.
wonder. Yeah, because there's a lot of turrets usually around for Benbot, and I think there are in this game as well.
Well, maybe he's just using it for Archons, because isn't it a
yeah,
little bit more
could be.
cost effective to do them for Archons? Or it's less gas,
It changes. Yeah, it changes what the cost is.
right? Yeah, it's like 25 less gas per Dark Templar, so 50 less gas for an Archon. Which, once you get up to a lot of bases over time, you're building 50 Archons. Sometime in these bot games, we saw 130 Vikings die last game. You don't see that often in human games, but in bot games, you can get up to those ridiculous amounts of losses sometimes. So yeah, having a little bit more gas for some more Archons could be very helpful in the late game. We'll see what he ends up using them for. All right, well, we're gonna have another little slow period here where both bots just kind of again ramp up, try to get up to that 200 supply, and get their economy just really saturated and a nice bank built up. Sharkbot really good at building that bank. Benbot struggled last time. I think it was just because Benbot stopped expanding, whether it was because Sharkbot stopped him from expanding or Benbot just was happy to sit on 5 bases. I don't know what played more of a factor there, but we'll see. It's getting up. We're getting up almost 200 supply, Undersword. We're at 185.
We're hitting that point, and there hasn't been other than that push out, we haven't had the same major engagements. Here's the Thors. So the Thors are now free.
They're free.
this game.
That's a game changer. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
it could be.
That's really going to change things here because they can now push with the army.
Yeah.
It's great to be on defense, but you also need to be able to follow up. And actually, no Archons. We do just see 2 Dark Templars coming in here raw. No scan though, so they're going to start swiping away. There's 0 Ravens for detection. Oh my gosh, these Dark Templar are getting massive damage done right now. Vikings are going to fall to the Stalkers. They did some damage to the Tempests, but not enough to finish them off, even with that anti-armor missile. Okay, Thor's
There
get a
come the
carrier.
Thors in
There
play.
you go.
Yeah.
Thors are going to be the hero.
If they catch these Tempests all grouped up too, then that
would be
pretty
helpful.
Strong.
That can be very strong. Oh, they're on a good spot on the high ground. The Stalker's not able to go up the ramp and really engage because they're afraid to commit. But yeah, too much here. Now that they have vision of the high ground, one Thor goes down, and this base is in a lot of trouble. This base might fall.
Yeah, this base is very cut off from the rest.
Oh, he almost got that Tempest. Oh, wait, did he get the Tempest? I think he killed one Tempest right
He
there.
got one. Yeah.
Just barely got one.
Vikings going down. There's a CC trying to float right by.
Oh, well, at least,
outside.
hey, at least Benbot's expanding and trying to expand.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yes.
Not the best place to do it, but, you know, he's trying. He's doing his best. Yeah, no, you're not going to, unless Sharkbot might actually just pull out of here, though.
I'll see. Hopefully
no,
for
he's
him,
gonna-
he'll
he's
just
gonna
take
stick
this
around.
out before. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that base is dead. All right, so Benbot's going to lose his expansion there. If he very easily could expand to the top left. I really hope Benbot flies something over there, because Sharkbot has so far neglected the top left of the map. We don't see anything up there for him. Just really focusing on this base right here, trying to push through the rock. Again, the rocks seem to be causing some trouble here. Nice blink through them, though.
Yeah, good move forward, but there's a big chunk of army here ready to take it and take this fight. 2 Immortals being stuck in the back here. It's in many of these cases, like the Immortals stepping forward and attacking a planetary, they take it down really quick, and they can tank some of the shots, but they're just like in none of these games have they gotten in range to do it.
Yeah.
But they that's kind of what they're for in this composition, is to take these fixed locations and just shoot them down, and it's just not been happening. That carrier was full.
Oh, wow, I had full interceptors?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's a big loss. But, you know, this is getting pushed back a little bit. Benbot still has not expanded. That's what I'm mostly worried about. We do see actually another command center building. We'll see where he chooses to fly it.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope he flies it to the top left. That would be so nice.
It's really interesting that we ended up with this angle too, because this is not like the way that certainly Sharkbot started, but it's the way that he's kind of gone
he's
here.
really swinging around
Nice
the left side.
storm.
Oh, that
Nice
was a
storm.
good storm. Juicy storm.
There's a bit of double whammy too. It hit the bio, and then the Vikings flew through it.
Nice. Great storm here. Again, though, Benbot is holding on even supply here, and this is not very good for the Protoss ground army. Gosh, those storms are so good. But the gateway units and the Immortals, all the ground army for the Protoss, is having a hard time with this ramp and this set of rocks here. It's really just kind of derping around down on the low ground. So if, I don't even know, like a Liberator could get in position there or something, maybe a tank. And we don't see tanks, obviously, but I don't know. There's definitely some opportunities for Benbot to take advantage of Sharkbot's peculiar pathing. There's a lot of units trapped in this little pocket here. You know, if he came in with a big concave, he could just crush it all.
Yeah, sure.
Vikings are getting some air units. That's nice. Getting more carriers. Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah, no, if like a big squad of Marines came down here right now, I think he could just clean up that
he
little
just
army
trapped
trapped
us.
in that
I
pocket.
think he
Yeah.
can.
What are they afraid of? What are they doing? Maybe, I guess they're staying with the Tempests.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do, because there's a lot in there. Like, it would take a fair bit to kill that stuff.
And then when something gets close enough to the Tempest, it's like, oh, okay,
that's
now
just
I
gonna burn
can
down.
engage.
SCV's coming.
Oh, where
for
did
it.
that base even come from?
I think he tried to float it again, and it got shot.
BP1. And plops a new one down right as it finishes. That's funny. All right, carrier's getting a little bit too aggressive. Will get picked off once again. And we're in, again, the war of attrition scenario where we're just going to have back and forth skirmishes, just non-stop trading. And it's going to last for a little bit. Not as long as last game, though. Benbot's only on 4 bases this time. Sharkbot is now taking
and
that top
Sharkbot's
left.
taking
so-
everything else, and we haven't really panned to it much. But look through the center of the map here. There's like a great wall.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing's breaking that
Yeah.
anytime soon.
So the moment this base falls,
Sharkbot
like
plays for the
he's
late
essentially going to realign to the middle and just, yeah,
game. Yeah.
exactly. It's
Oh, yeah, no,
it's
there's-
all about those fallback positions. If you lose, if you kind of lose the initiative, you fall back, and then the Vikings were dying en masse to those kind of encampments.
Another one even finishing here. Shield battery behind the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sharkbot has got this in the bag
There,
here.
we finally have the Immortals actually going. and
Immortals are
attacking this
finally
VF.
doing damage.
Yeah.
Finally. Now, I do think, yeah, the supply has finally started to dwindle for Benbot. So our hopes of a 5th Terran moving on into the round of 8 is not going to happen. But Sharkbot is going to take the game here. Yeah, 200 supply to 120 and falling. Army supply vastly in his favor, and some phenomenal defensive play out of Benbot. Really survived some really aggressive, really unique attacks with storms and carriers and tempests and disruptors. A lot of bots would just crumple immediately under this pressure, I think.
Yeah,
but Benbot held really
Benbot
well.
Holds like a long time.
Really well. Solid defense out of Benbot. So nicely done, but Sharkbot with some. He plays for the late game. Some phenomenal late game play. He has got every tool in his arsenal at this point, pretty much. I think he does have every tool in his arsenal. He could build whatever he wants.
Yeah, I think he does.
Big warpins.
I don't know a unit that he's not making.
Great defensive positions.
Yeah. And even good disruptor hits, really good storms. Like almost every storm we
the
saw
storms
was,
have been money.
Yeah, just
right on big balls of bio. Yeah, no, this has been phenomenal play out of Sharkbot, and definitely deserves and earned his place in this round of 8 here. That means we have 7 of 8 bots in our round of 8 Undersword.
Indeed.
7 of 8. Sharkbot moving on. So who all do we've got? We've got. Yeah, we'll take a look at it after.
Yeah.
But we've got one more best of 3. Once this one wraps up, this is going to finish up here as Sharkbot seals the deal. Good games indeed. Zozo and Dovakin will be coming up next, so make sure you all sit tight and hang out. We've got one more exciting best of 3. And make sure you check out the Crown Club for our post-bot show tomorrow. We're going to be doing that round of 8 fantasy bracket once again. So in case you didn't get the memo earlier, come join us live in the Discord. And we'll be joined by Negative Zero's author, Mind Me, tomorrow night for post-bots. But good job, Sharkbot. You have succeeded in securing your spot in the round of 8. So congratulations. And great stuff, Benbot, but you're going in the scrap pile. It's time.
Yeah,
all right.
Indeed. Now this next one's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll just
let's talk a little bit about our last best of 3.
Yeah, exactly. So these are both cheesy fellas. Zozo is a worker rush bot. Dovakin is to a point, but does a few other things as well. So here's Zozo. This is
Dovakin likes to work a rush. We'll say that
likes
much.
to work a rush, but varies a bit. This is Zozo first appearance. Pretty high elo for a first timer.
Yeah.
And we've seen this work pretty well, but we've also seen last week against Eris, it just failed almost with what are you doing sort of level.
I think it was in due a little bit in part to his update. One of Zozo's updates was for his worker rush. He stacks the workers into the mineral pocket, like we've seen a few bots like Ketrock does it, and a couple other bots can do that. But this time it just wasn't. You got to stack first. Number one, he tried to stack at the enemy's minerals, which if you can get in there, that's great. But he was trying to do it through the entire other worker line and just took big hits, got surrounded, and took a lot of damage before he even made it to that pocket. So we'll see if it can work out this time. Again, as Zozo was updated with that little update to try to make it more effective in the mineral pocket. But I'm looking at Dovakin's update. Dovakin's worker rush defense has been revamped.
That's it. Yeah, Zozo updated his
Zozo
worker
might
rush.
be in trouble.
Dovakin updated his worker rush defense. That's basically it. So we'll see.
We shall see. Yeah, another really nice ELO for Dovakin. And this is what's the third season for Dovakin. And not bad, already getting 1 3rd place finish in 2021 of season 3. So not bad for only 2 appearances to get a 3rd place, and now 3rd time here in ProBots, looking to make it into the round of 8. We'll see what happens. Which worker rush bot will move on?
That's basically what it is. That's what we're doing.
Assuming what we're gonna see here.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. We might have Dovakin might do something else.
Sure.
I mean,
Dovakin.
Sure.
The thing is, if you do something else, it doesn't really matter because the other one's still gonna do it.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be whether Dovakin wants to deal with the worker rush or not. It doesn't matter because you're getting one.
Well, we're gonna get this game loaded up here and see what happens. Again, make sure you check out the links below me if you're watching this later next week, or if you're watching this recently and it's not there yet. Check back and check next week's video as well. We're gonna have a link for our Humans versus Bots download. You can go play against some of these bots yourself. So again, keep an eye out for that. It should be on our forum as well. You can always come into the Discord and ask for it. We'll have someone there. We can help you out. But definitely keep an eye out for that. We'd love to see you play against these bots and get us your replays, Because that's coming up quick, Undersword. We've only got a couple more
is.
weeks
It
until
is.
our finals. I think we've got. So we're doing next week will be our round of 8. Then the week after will be pretty much our semifinals, our round of 4 and semifinals. And then I think we're doing our finals on the 17th actually. So 2 days after that. Usually we do it one week.
Yeah, the week
After, but because of Christmas, we're just gonna crank it out here right before the holiday. So we're gonna be doing 2 more weeks of games, and then that Saturday after after the 15th. So the 17th of December will be our grand finals, if I am not mistaken. So bookmark it, tell everybody about it. It's gonna be a hell of a good time. And I think we're ready, Undersword. Are you ready for our final best of 3 of the night? Our final group stage series.
Nobody blink during this one.
Keep your eyes open. It's going to happen quick. Zozo versus Dovakin here on ProBots. Let's go. Sam Ogons.
Zozo.
Here we go.
Yep.
Got the hunts.
Dovakin.
Did you see that new Indiana Jones movie's coming out? Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Ooh.
The final one. I just binge watch all the others. All right, here we go. We're gonna see what happens in this worker rush extravaganza. Dovakin actually not worker rushing this time, but let's see if his defense is on point. He does stop building the defense. He identifies the worker rush just before he built that expansion, and all the drones are now off the line with a great concave. I think Dovakin's gonna hold this with that regeneration. He gets that little bit of health back. Yeah, he's already pushed this back.
I think it depends how much he chases though, because of course the probes take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm.
They get,
oh yeah, that's true. They're going back for shield regen.
Yeah. So
but
that's
you
what
could
they're
argue the
trying-
drones get a little bit more time to heal too.
They do. It's just slower. So they get the
It's a little
initial
slower.
quicker because they get the regen in combat. The
This
probes
is a
have to be
lot
out
of
combat.
chitin room. Yeah, they've got to be out of combat. You're right.
So
And they're out of
it's
combat,
A difference,
so-
but it's a delay process. So there is a spawning pool being made.
Have any probes died yet? They're doing a
I-
great job at
yeah.
pulling back. I gotta say.
Yeah, they
I think
do.
a few have died.
They're pretty
Two
good,
have died.
too.
Not bad. Only 2 have died, but they're
And no
really
drones.
hurt.
Yeah.
And look how much health is on these drones still.
Yeah, I think you're right that Dovakin has held. He's also continuing at home. So again, there's
there's more drones coming out at home.
More drones
Yeah.
coming out. There's even a extractor there, I think.
So the big problem, I think, the shield regen's nice, but you're having probes not all attacking at once because you have only a few
Yeah.
get their shields back.
Yeah, they're
and
not-
Then they attack, and then a
exactly.
few more, and it's just
They're
not, at the
not
same
all
time.
regrouping. They're yeah, exactly. They're fighting individually.
Oh, he's going to his own mineral pocket here.
Yeah.
That would be ideal if he can get to a little mineral pocket. That's really going to help him. But Dovakin has done a great job at pulling back his own workers, and they're just going back home to mine. So
Yeah.
he has already bought so much time just fighting this, and he even gets another probe there. So 3 probes have died. The rest are so injured that... Oh, I'm sorry, 6 probes have died.
6 probes have died. And I don't think he has
this is
any
over.
mode.
This is done.
Because again, Zozo, this is all Zozo does. So there's no like,
The
okay,
follow.
I'm gonna go back to mining sort of thing. One thing we
Dovakin
glossed over at
does,
the
yeah.
very beginning of it is Dovakin had one worker out to try and make a hatchery, and it tried to come back in, separating Zozo's probe group
Oh,
into 2.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So the very first contact was only with Zozo's half of Zozo's.
After those are, and that just
probes.
set it. From there, it was all dominoed down, and we'll be able to kill a couple of Zerglings. But yeah, no, this is held. There are so many more workers here for Dovakin, and we'll have to see if game number 2 can go in Zozo's favor. But looks like we might have one more Zerg moving on to the round of 8. We've only got Eris, so to have 2 Zergs would be it'd be pretty nice, because then we'd have 2 Zergs, 4 Terrans, and 2 Protoss.
Presumably 2
Or wait,
yeah.
a random.
Well, we got
bot,
one.
right?
Is
No,
Xena
I don't
in,
think
though?
the random made it.
Xena
We've
was
got
not in. Yeah.
-0, Spud, Micro Machine, Dominion Dog, Petrock. Oh, Sharkbot.
And
He's our other
Sharkbot.
Protoss. Yeah, yeah. And then, so we'll have 2 Protoss, 2 Zerg. Again, I'm counting my chickens a little early. 2 Zerg if this continues to go in Dovakin's favor. It really looks like it will, just with that worker rush defense. And then, yeah, that'll be that. So we'll see here.
Why aren't these lings playing?
The workers got this. I like how there's lings out, but all the workers are like, nah,
whatever.
We got this. That's hilarious. And there it is. GG. Zozo does tap out when he loses all the probes. So good-mannered Protoss there. Good-mannered worker rush. If you're going to worker rush, at least be good-mannered about it. I like it. Okay, we're going to get game 2 loaded up here in just a moment and see if Zozo can turn things around. But again, I think Dovakin really seems to have this on lock and should be able to defend as long as he can see it coming. Even if he builds that expansion, I think he holds. You know, he was about to build the expansion, but he canceled last second. And you're right, I do think it did help him by splitting up the probes. But I think that the probes would be in retreat long enough that, like we were talking about, Dovakin has a follow-up. He still has workers mining. He still gets up to the Zerglings. If he can just buy enough time to get a couple Zerglings out, the worker rush is done. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Game numero 2 about to take place. Again, thank you all for being here tonight. Our final best of 3 of our group stage here on ProBots, and this will decide our final bot into the round of 8 to secure this 8th spot, and then we'll be taking a look at our brackets and talking about next week and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, let's go ahead and hop into game 2 and see what happens. Sam Ogons.
Zozo.
And it's funny, they go at like different times too,
Yeah.
because they're like finishing mining. It's like
Because they're trying to get,
Yata
presumably they're trying to get that last probe out, because that's,
Dovakin.
Oh, it's
yeah.
exactly how many
they're
minerals, yeah.
going in and just, putting in what they have to get the 15.
Gotcha. So that's why we see the weird conga line of probes is, they do mine to the last possible second just to get that one final probe out, which, it can make or break the probe rush for sure. If you get just that one extra probe when there's, 2v2 left, one probe comes in, it's like, okay, well, good job, you just won.
Yeah.
But we'll see here what happens. Dovakin is going to identify.
Gonna go for a hatch.
So
In
he
this
hasn't
case,
identified the worker rush yet. 2
no,
drones
yeah.
actually go down immediately. Now he's got the worker defense as they hit on creep. But this is already a lot better for Zozo. Not as much of a concave this time for Dovakin. So now we're going to see the probes starting to kite back. They've already taken a little bit of hull damage now. And as long as Dovakin can just buy enough time, then he'll be able to get Zerglings out. And we've seen, too, he pulls his hurt workers back to go mine.
Yeah.
That must be a newer update. Oh, yeah, somebody was just saying, Mind Me was just saying, he updated that. So previously they would fight until death. Now when they get low, they actually go back and mine.
Yeah.
So in this case, it works out phenomenally.
Yeah, that's a lot better, because one big thing, like
But
while the probe regen is better, the shields are half their health. So if they stop fighting after losing only half their health, Dovakin's drones fight longer.
Uh-huh. Ooh, he gets another drone. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So Ender Sword. There's no spawning pool.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't over yet.
Yeah,
yes, it's in Dovakin's
he made a
favor.
hatchery. Yeah, he made a hatchery.
He made a hatchery instead, but he does have, just with more drones popping out and that healing, I do think Dovakin will still hold.
I think so too. And there's another thing too that's a real big downfall of Zozo playing a Zerg, and we'll see how this pans out, is if you're playing a Zerg and he's got 2 hatcheries, or even just a hatchery in one other building, is you eventually have to deal with broodlings.
Oh, yeah. And they
And-
can finish off your,
yeah,
if
and
you
they
have
can
one
finish
probe
off your thing.
left, yeah.
Yeah, if you make nothing else at all, then it means that, if you win with like 3 probes or something, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, because you can't actually kill it. Well, you could kill the building and run away.
You could kill it and try and run away. I think
to
the
run away.
broodlings are faster. They will be on creep.
Yeah.
But,
They're situational,
it's
for
situational. Like,
Sure.
you
Oh,
have
might
to
get
be
another
careful.
couple of drones. Ugh, doesn't quite. Oh, he does. He gets 1. Okay. So 4 drones. Actually, 4 drones to 3 probes have gone down. But again, it's just a matter of time. Zozo doesn't have more things coming
Yeah,
out.
there's
Dovakin
not this
does.
replacement that's happening.
Dovakin
Dovakin
has more
has a
drones.
full economy. He's got a completely saturated mineral line.
So overtime, this will go to Dovakin. One final valiant effort here out of Zozo's probes. They really put up a much better fight this time in this game, but yeah, it's just not going to be enough here. Yeah. And yes, but with the spawning pool, now he was finally had enough time to build that spawning pool, and yeah, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a Zerg as our final round of 8 competitor. So we've got again 4 Terrans, 2 Protoss, and 2 Zerg, which I have no idea, again, who's going to go up against who. We'll have to update the bracket and let you all know next week. And again, we'll talk about it tomorrow during post-boss as well. When we're doing our predictions, we'll have that full round of 8 bracket updated and ready to look at for you all to make your own predictions in the challenge page. So make sure you come join us live, or if you don't join us live, you can fill it out on your own time. Just make sure you do it by next week, because it'll open tomorrow night when we do post-bots. The predictions, and then we'll close at the start of the show next week. So get them in, get it done. And there it is. The final probes go down. GG. Dovakin moves on to the round of 8 in a nice win. Nice worker rush defense there. Really held nicely. Yeah. And yeah, ignore that score. It was not 0-0. We forgot to update it. It is 2-0 Dovakin over Zozo. And that's it. Those are the games for tonight. We have Zozo going in the scrap pile, but hey, a great first showing out of Zozo, to be able to make it into the round of 8. I think, who did he take a game off anyone? Nah, didn't quite take a game off anyone, but still gave us some nice cheeky worker rushes, kept these top bots on their toes, didn't give them an easy win. So there we go. Enter Sword. We've got 8 bots. Let's take a look at our bracket.
Yeah, let's do that. Do you have it up to date?
Yeah, I do. I want to see all the brackets. Show me the winners bracket.
It's only the winners bracket now, right?
The round of 8. Show me the.
Yeah, this.
Oh, is it? Here it is. This is our round of 8 bracket.
Yeah. And do we have a link yet to the?
Every now and then we screwed up. So, do we? I don't know if it's open yet. Yeah. So yeah, go to the challenge page.
The challenge bracket.
That will be that's not filled out yet. So again, we'll open up the predictions tomorrow at post-bots. Tomorrow evening. You can go fill that out on the challenge page, but do keep that bookmarked so you can go do that quickly. So yeah, we do have the first in Group A goes up against the second in Group D, which is -0 versus Dovakin here. Dovakin, the second one out of Group D. And then Ketrock versus Dominion Dog. Ketrock was the first out of his group in C, and Dominion Dog the second out of his group in B. So yeah, it really shuffles them up here so we don't get any rematches like we saw in the group stages, which is good. We want to see more bots against more bots, more diversity. Yeah. And then Micro Machine, first out of his group in Group B, will go up against Group C's Sharkbot, who is second out of his group tonight. And then a final match would be Eris versus Spud. Eris, again, the first out of Group D, goes up against the second out of Group A, which was Spud. So again, to go look at the challenge final stage bracket, and you can see that all for yourself.
We should put the challenge bracket in the description below for anyone watching video later.
I'm sure I think
they can participate.
It should be if it's not already. But yeah, we'll make sure that's in there. Again, tomorrow night that will open up. Come do your predictions, and we have a hell of a round of 8 lined up. Ender Sword. This is going to be some exciting games. Again, we'll see it all next week. 4 more eliminations taking place next week. We're down to our last lives here. No more double elimination.
Yeah.
If you lose a best of 3, you're now out. So watch out. We do get one more round of updates as well. Very important to keep in mind. One final round of updates for these bots to ensure their.
Saying the brackets are different than what we expected. Did we tell them? Order,
I don't know. That's why everyone always says it's wrong at some point, and half of the time it is wrong. So take that all with a grain of salt. That is just what we have been seeing tonight. Yeah. But that seems right. I was double checking. The challenge says it's these from those, and they all matched up correctly. So as far as I can tell, that is the correct round of 8.
That sounds right. Like if we did A, D, B, C.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Well, it goes.
You can't get into your same group again.
Exactly. You don't want any rematches. Essentially, because you've got in the first 2 is you've got one player from A, B, C, and D, and then in the bottom 2 you've got A, B, C, D. So when they go on, they will not have the same. Yeah, it works. It makes sense.
I think A1, D2, B. I guess it's that. It's A1, D2 versus B1,
A1,
C2?
D2, C1, B2 is how this is. Anyway, we'll talk more about it again tomorrow night in PostBots for our Crown Club. Come fill out your challenge brackets live with us. Same time, same place, here on ES Champ ProBots. And it'll be a lot of fun. Ender Sword, anything you want to say before we wrap things up?
Check us out tomorrow on the PostBots there. If you're in the Crown Club, if you're not in the Crown Club, Mind Me will be joining us. And then if not, check us out here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Is that still a reference people get?
I didn't understand that at all.
You didn't understand that at all?
I assume I know what you mean,
hear people
but I don't
say
know
that,
what
and I know what it is. So it's literally back from the days of radio. That there was a Batman show on the radio that kids listen to.
Oh, it was a Batman
and
thing?
they always ended it with, tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Same time, same place here on ESPN. So this would be same bot time, same bot channel.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, thank you all for being here again. This was the end of our group stages. Next week will be the round of 8. Hopefully we'll see you all there. Until then, have a good night, and much love from ES Champ ProBots. Good job to all the bots who were eliminated, and all the bots who continue as well. It's exciting stuff to see. All right, see you all next time. Bye.